Hello, everyone, and welcome to Texas Card House Dallas for tonight, the final table of the big one. I'm RJ Dupree with my host, Eric Van Loosen. What's up, buddy?
What is going on, brother? Yeah, another one. We got one of our favorite dealers back in town. Mr. Travis is in the box tonight. We've got a fun final table, of course. Once again, Mr. Hall of Fame poker pro TJ Clutier is on a final table,
right.
so love seeing that tonight. But you'll recognize some good faces, and we got another 16,000 plus up top for first place. One-day tournament, $360 buy-in. So
crush it. That's what we do.
Crushing these guarantees. Great turnout today, and here are the prizes. Starting out $1,600 for 9th place, but everybody is playing for that big boy prize up there of $16,015. So 217 entries today. These are our final 9. Cards are going to get in the air. Let's go.
Yeah, full 10X right there in between our payouts. These players have a prize of $1,600 locked up. Here we are, final 9, hand number 1. All right, and hand number 1 looks like Wendle's in the low jack. He's going to open things up for us.
Yeah, I haven't seen Wendle in a while, but he's definitely been on a final table before.
He will make it 80,000 to go here. It looks like that's a min click, so our blind's opening up the final table here. 20,000, 40,000 with a 40,000 big blind ante. Wendle makes it 80K to go. Carlito calls from the hijack with king queen. 8-9-9. Wendle's going to be open-ended.
Pretty close to what you want to flop with a hand like that if you are going to open it up out of the low jack.
That's right. Easy to continue with this flop for Wendle. Want some sort of equity when you open up with that 7 high.
Carlito, a non-believer here.
King queen will stick around.
Check. Check.
Wow, the king high is going to the river, and it's going to be good.
Wow.
If we get to showdown here.
9 of diamonds here on the river. That trips the board.
80,000.
Yeah, Wendle just going to be stuck with that draw. Draw doesn't get there. Carlito takes advantage, takes down a nice pot.
Yeah, that was going to take 3 barrels to get that done. Carlito was a non-believer there.
Yeah, it would have took a big barrel there on the end, definitely, to get it done, I think.
That is going to take him over the 1 million chip mark there.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a few players over $1 million already coming into tonight's final table. You can see Carlito there in 4th chip stack. Above him, we have TJ, Scoop, and JT. JT, our chip leader, at 1.6 million. Looks like our short stacks right now in the 5, the 2, and the 6. That's Jim, Bob, and Wendle. Wendle at 525,000.
Sounds like a folk band or maybe a law firm. Jim, Bob, and Wendle.
That's right. Wendle still with a little over 11 blinds in his stack, so
Raised to 80,000.
so these players have a little bit of wiggle room coming in. Not much, though.
No super premiums here, but players still have plenty of chips to see some flops here. With some of these kind of speculative hands here. See those equities there, pretty close. Going 3 ways to a flop.
Ace, deuce, deuce, 2 diamonds. JT's got a flush draw here. Gibson and his pair of 3s. Officially still best.
That's 60,000.
Checks around to JT and his flush draw. He'll bet 60,000.
He's the biggest asshole in poker, but he ran the best game.
Head up action.
Head up action.
Deuce on the turn. Duck, duck, deuce. That's trips on the board here. Gibson
Wow.
finding himself with a full house and a check mark. JT makes a flush here on the river.
Bet 250,000.
Never real fun to make a flush when there are trips on the board. JT agrees. He puts it in the muck.
Nice hand there for Mr. Gibson. There is the aforementioned Poker Hall of Famer right there, Mr. TJ Clutier. Born in 1939 in Albany, California.
39 model.
Got a couple of, actually 6 bracelets, World Series of Poker bracelets.
Pretty good resume.
Absolutely. Had Richardson, Texas be his home for quite a long time, and I know all of us that have been playing poker in the DFW kind of area, and of course up in Oklahoma as well, for the last, decade plus, have run into TJ quite a bit.
You betcha.
A lot of fun, and we'll try to listen in to TJ tonight, as he's always got some good stories. A lot of history there with him and some of the guys that I know you and I kind of cut teeth watching on TV, learning about poker. Doyle Brunson and TJ and Amarillo Slim and some of those old names that were really fun to learn about.
Raised to 100,000. Fold, fold, fold.
There's our first good pair there. Our pal Mitch's favorite hand, the pocket tens.
PJ Paul with the tens. He'll take it down. No resistance.
PJ looks like he likes to party. Can we just call him Party Paul?
I like it.
Party Paul taking one down there. Blinds are at 20,000, 40,000, 40,000. See that clock ticking down there in front of Travis. About another 11 minutes at this level. And there is a big old premium for Mr. Wendle. Great song, by the way, Mr. Wendle. You remember that one?
Is that Green Day?
No.
No.
Shout out in the chat if you remember Mr. Wendle and who the artist was.
What's up, chat? How are you guys doing today?
Little hip-hop song from the 90s.
Hip-hop?
Hippity-hop.
Hip-hop anonymous?
I'm going to have to get in the chat, see if it's working. You guys are a little quiet so far.
All right, Wendle does raise it up with that big slick ace-king under the gun. He makes it 100,000 to go.
All right, chat's working because we got Miss Susan Curon joining us. Howdy, Susan.
Hello, Susan. Thank you.
Call 100,000.
Good evening to you as well.
She's giving a shout out to her pal TJ.
Queen, deuce 3. 1 spade here. Flop goes check, check. TJ checking is in the small blind here with that ace jack. We'll check her down some more, go to showdown, and Wendle takes down a little skinny rabbit there.
Absolutely. A lot going on in the poker room today. We had 217 entries in this one-day tournament, the big one. And, of course, we have the afternoon tournament as well. RJ's going to stick his head out the door and see how many entries we got in that booger. $175 buy-in, $15,000 guarantee. That one's still going on right now.
Yeah, they are down to 22 players now of the 175 entries. So they have a top prize of $6,500.
Nice.
Nothing to do on a Saturday night. Come out and bink you about $6 grand.
On a $175 buy-in, not too shabby, but these boys are battling it out for $16,000 on this final table. Another big hand there. Carlito.
Hello.
Waking up with the Cowboys, and right behind him, Gibson's got those jiggities.
Yeah, jiggity's in the cutoff here for Gibson, and he is in danger. Just makes a call here, wants to see a flop.
We saw another jack folded, so he's going to need to catch that case jack.
Queen, queen, 9.
Wow, check, check.
But 100, 150, 150. Snuck a chip in there. Call 150.
150 here from Carlito with a call from Gibson. 3 of hearts on the river. Kings have the check mark.
Yeah, probably going to go bet call here. As Gibson has got 2 pair himself. Does call. Kings and queens are going to be good for Carlito.
And by the groan of the table there, looks like
button is
Possibly Gibson might have flashed his jacks. Nice hand there for Carlito. A couple nice hands for him. He's up second place in chip stacks. 1.4 million now for him.
And this one's probably going to go over your head too, because I don't think you're a movie buff. But
Okay.
so far, things are going Carlito's way.
Is that Tombstone?
It's a great movie. Carlito's Way.
Oh,
Good old gangster film.
okay.
Shout out to Mr. Aubin. Surprised we don't see you on our final table, but it makes sense. You're in Las Vegas.
Aubin checking us out from Vegas. Thank you, buddy. Happy stacking out there in the desert.
Good luck.
Yes, Travis in the box. Couple shout outs for Travis here tonight and his return. Our man's been running around the world and spending some time back in his home area, the Pacific Northwest.
Shout out to Ronnie B. Says, go Gators.
And look at this hot mess as hand number 6 cooking up a spicy one. Bob's got kings. Wendle has Big Slick in the small blind.
And Big Slick is going to do a little choo-choo. Going to put that whole stack in, the smoke stack.
okay. No worries.
Yeah, Bob raised it up there, and Wendle, wasting no time, gets it in with ace-king, and he finds the bad news here. Bob makes the call with kings.
Smokestack is in. Bob wants all the smoke. He's got the kings. But Bob is actually at risk.
You got it. All right, flop.
All right, to the flop we go. Jack 4, 7, 1 diamond.
Turn.
Uh-oh, spicy.
Never easy.
Never easy.
8 of diamonds on the turn. Diamond or an ace. 10 of spades, no help for ace. King Bob gets the full double up, and that will leave Wendle awful short over there.
Yeah, with just a couple of chips left here.
Yeah, it looks like about 1.27 million in that pot for Bob. So that'll move him up quite a bit. Wendle's going to be left with crumbs.
Nice hand, buddy. Thank you, Travis. I needed that.
30K is going to be what Wendle is left with, so not even a full blind, but he does have the button, so he gets to pick which hand he wants to go with here to get it all in after running that ace-king right into Bob's kings. Got to chat with Bob a little bit before the tournament started, so I'm kind of hanging around up at the bar, and he was excited to be on a final table with TJ Clutier and some of our other local tournament crushers.
I get to visit with Bob a lot. He's one of my favorite people to hang out with, deal to, visit with. He
Always
said
in good
hello
spirits.
before the final table here tonight, and yes, he is an absolute pleasure at the table. Stop capping. He says he's in Vegas, getting felted. I can do that here.
Raise to 100,000. Full. Full. And full.
All right. Gibson's back to work with that ace-queen, raises it up, takes down blinds and antes.
No parking lot for Gibson there with the ace-queen.
Made it.
So yeah, Gibson's been on our final table. JT in seat 1's been on our final table. Everybody knows Scoop. Sometimes goes by Suju. He's always on our final tables. Carlito's been on there. Of course, Mr. TJ Clutier's been on there. I believe PJ Paul has been on our final table before. Wendle's been on there. So we got a studded cast here of folks that have been on there. And actually Jim has as well. So great to see some familiar faces out of 217 entries today that make it to this final table, playing for 16,000 up top.
Raise to 100.
And if you stare at Jim's hoodie too long, you might think you're hallucinating.
And you will often have that problem with Mr. Jim's hoodies, I believe. He likes to show up in some fun hoodies.
Turn on some Pink Floyd and trip out watching Jim's hoodie. Power of the hoodie gets that one through with 10-9. And we'll take a peek real quick at those payouts again. Big pay jumps really kind of start probably around 4th place, I guess. You're going from 3,100 at 5th boom, up to 4K, 66, 11, and then 16. So really nice pay jumps there. But if you just fired one bullet, though, even ninth place is quite a prize. 1,600. These players all have 1,600 locked up.
I could go for that.
Absolutely.
Raise to 100,000. Full.
All right. First sign of work from Scoop tonight. He's able to take down blinds and antes from the button with the suited king.
Absolutely. Using that position and that big stack there. Jumps over JT. Scoop's now the chip leader. These players all super close in chip stack. You got the 4 or 5 top guys there, all over $1 million. Then you've got PJ, Paul, Gibson, and Jim. Pretty healthy stacks. And our man Wendle has dwindled, but he's going to pick a hand to get it in here shortly. Maybe he'll channel a little Bart Bogart in there. Run up a chip in a chair and make a deep run.
TJ going to bump it up here with the king queen. Early position. Jim will 3-bet here with that suited ace-5. 3-bet works, takes it down. Right time for the ace-high 3-bet. Not a lot of holdings out there. TJ easily lets go a king queen.
And if y'all are wondering, our boy here in the box, Mr. Travis, has not moved back from Washington. He is here for a couple of months, so he's going to be hanging out with us for a couple of months.
Okay.
Folks that remember, he was a tournament director for a while and awesome dealer, part of this TCH family, and still part of the fam, even though he lives up in the Pacific Northwest now. Here we go. Wendle has found an ace, and that's good enough to rip that 30,000 stack in there.
All right, Wendle's all in, 30,000, less than a blind here. So he's taking this ace-4 to showdown,
All right, seat 9 full.
no matter what.
And players
Okay.
might
You call it 40.
kind of tag team up here a little bit and try to knock out the player.
Yeah, JT on the button comes in with that Jack-8, Gibson on the big blind. He has 7-6 offsuit.
Against these holdings, Wendle's in pretty good shape.
Queen 10 deuce. Gut shot for JT.
Oh.
Bingo, bango, finds it. Jack-8 has the goods.
It's a bet of 50,000. So you win this here, and I need to see both hands, please. Check. Ace, or we have a straight ace.
There we go, Jack-8.
Thank you. We
JT
have,
shows it off,
next
makes a
place-
straight.
next
Ace
place
5 for
coming up.
Wendle, and he will be eliminated tonight in 9th place. A sweet run for Mr. Wendle.
Mr. Wendle, shout out to you, brother. Ran that ace-king suited right into those kings.
Them Cowboys are tough now.
Absolutely, but great showing there, making it to 9th place out of 217 entries. Wendle taking home $1,600 for his effort. Hopefully we'll see you back. And congrats again on a nice deep run and a final table appearance here at TCH Dallas. About 150 of y'all tuning in right now. Thank you for tuning in on a Saturday night. Again, I'm Eric Van Loosen, joined by RJ Dupree.
Yo, yo.
The Dupe Show, right next door to me.
The Dupe Show's here, hanging out. Texas Card House, Dallas. That's the final table of the big one.
Sponsored, of course, there. You see on the table, Hijack Poker. If you're in the state of Texas and you want to play some online poker, download the Hijack Poker app on your smartphone, or you can play on your laptop.
Do it.
You can deposit money at any of our TCH locations and withdraw as well. A great little app. You and I have had a little fun splashing around on there.
That's right.
100,000 is the rail. 100,000 is the race.
Yeah, blinds are up now. Travis
And we have full.
reminding the players to put a little more money in there on the min raise. 25,000, 50,000 now the blinds with that 50,000 ante, of course. So JT with the men click here. Ace-7, TJ will defend with 6-8.
Bet 65,000.
JT with middle pair here, easy to continue. He also has the ace of clubs. TJ not a believer here. He's going to check raise and see what happens.
Battle of the initials, TJ, JT. Hard to hit a pair in this game. JT got second pair, some backdoor clubs there with the ace. Does he want to tangle with the Hall of Famer, Mr. Clutier?
You see those red chips scattered out from TJ there. Those are 100,000 each. That'll be our big chip of the evening.
Yeah, didn't want to tangle there with the pro, and TJ going to take it down. Josh Sanders with the great compliment. Thank you very much, Josh. Says, always enjoy y'all's commentary.
Hey, thank you, Josh.
Well, we really enjoy engaging with our friends that are always in the chat. Makes this job super easy for RJ and I.
What's up, Lego?
Lego Maego. What's up, brother?
Action. Hold. 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 Hold.
Hand number 13 here of tonight's final table. Looks like a doozy so far. Folds around to the button.
I bet Lego would have known
Mr. Gibson does have a hand. Ace-10 going to bump it up.
the song that I was talking about earlier.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Mr. Wendle, 1992. Hip-hop song. Who's the artist?
Mr.
Nobody else has said anything yet.
Wendle.
Also the name of a TV show later.
I do feel like
50 here.
I definitely remember this.
Mr. Wendle. Come on.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that part of it, but
My goodness. You didn't like me serenading you? Arrested Development was the name of the group. 1992.
mmm.
Oh.
Ace Queen here for
Three.
PJ Paul.
35,000 total.
135,000 here. There we go. Lego knew it.
That he did.
135,000 here from PJ Paul. Bob's got pocket eights in the hijack. Bob makes the call. Carlito in the big blind with King 10. One of everyone's favorite hand to get in trouble with. Coop.
We just got kicked out.
RTMP source. Yep. It froze for about 5 seconds.
Oh, we're back on.
All right, we're back. I think we got kicked off the feed there for a hot minute, but it appears as though we're back without a ton of damage here, so that's good.
Back in the saddle again. There we go.
Looks like PJ Paul, the original raiser here with Ace Queen, does connect. Lands that Ace Queen. Carlito here.
Spicy little card here.
Carlito landing middle pair on that flop and turning the nut flush draw here with that King of Spades. By the way, PJ Paul also holding a big spade. 7 of clubs. No violence here on the river. We go check, check.
King 10.
Check, check. Ace Queen's good. And a showdown.
Got our first chatter tuning in via Twitch. LaCroix boy.
What's up, Twitch? LaCroix boy. TJ, JT, and PJ.
And RJ next to me.
And RJ. And
And EVL.
I haven't messed it up yet,
No.
but we will.
Good night. Keep going, man. Talk to you later. Have a nice
Full. Raise to 100,000. Full. Full.
100,000 here from Bob. Middle position there. He's in the low jack with queen jack. Jim on the button with a suited queen 10 of clubs. Carlito with a suited queen 8. We're running low on queens here. Scoop with the good stuff. He's got an ace 4 in the big blind. He'll defend and see a flop. Ace 6 5. This
Check.
Big old capital A for Scoop.
big blind lands an ace and he checks around. He's going to turn open-ended here for good measure.
As is Carlito, though. He's got the 8 in his hand.
6 of spades, 2 pair here for Scoop.
Scoop's like, I got to see if my ace is good here.
Scoop leads out here on the river, 80,000. And all the queen highs sadly go into the muck.
You know, he's getting a little closer, up to 2 million. He's got 1.72 now. So a couple of fun tournaments today, and got this just released.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. The Trailblazer Poker Tour is going to kick off again. It's going to actually kick off right here in Dallas at TCH Social in Las Colinas and TCH Dallas, September 25th. So keep this on your calendars. All the events there. Trailblazer Poker Part 2.
There we go. Poker Tour season number 2 for Trailblazer. And of course, those events aren't out yet. The schedule's not quite yet available, but they want to let you know that Trailblazer Series coming back again very, very soon. Check those dates. It'll be here before you know it. All right, JT raised it up, ace jack of clubs. He's under the gun. Carlito with 2 letters. Queen jack will 3-bet here on the button. 310,000. JT makes the call.
2 players.
Ace 5 6.
Check.
All the big aces landing so far here tonight.
JT is going to check it over to Carlito. And Carlito is going to take the bait and bet his queen high here.
Comes out swinging pretty strong. 200,000 here from Carlito. That catches the attention of JT, but he does make the call.
Check. Check.
Carlito appears to have shut this hand down.
Check.
As he's been called.
It does go check, check. Ace jack's going to be good for JT.
Queen jack.
So these pots are building up a little bit pre-flop and flop, and then the players seem to be slowing down, nestling into the hand, a lot of giving up, and a lot of showdowns here.
Yeah, no big post-flop tangles just yet. Players being a little cautious. Ace jack, though, very strong there, and that's going to put JT up right at that 2 million chip mark.
And I heard that today's tournament had a little bit of a prolonged bubble on both the button and the final table. And sometimes when that happens, you still kind of feel those vibes, right? Even after you make it to the final table, you're still just kind of a little bit overcautious. But nothing crazy. The players are definitely building these pots up enough that there's plenty in them. But
Got a full.
Lego mentioning that he just finished watching the Mike the Mouth documentary.
Documentary for Mike the Mouth. Mr. Mattisau doing some work out there in Vegas this summer, I see.
Was that Netflix? Have you seen that come up on your feed?
I have not.
I don't know if it's just something you got to find on YouTube or if it's Netflix, but let me know, Lego, where to find that.
Fun little hand here. TJ's raised it up to 200,000 from the low jack. He has ace queen. Jim right behind him. Ace jack suited. Suited king there for Scoop. He's going to throw that in the muck, take a quick lap around the room. Ace, 8, deuce, 2 hearts. Big flop here.
Players all in.
The ace lands, and Jim has ace jack with a nut flush draw.
Table of hands, please.
Players kind of beating each other into the pot here.
Wasting no time. Bet all in, all in.
Here we go. Big old collision. Jim is at risk.
Jim at risk, going to need a jack or a heart. 5 of diamonds, no help. 3 of spades, and that is a nice pot for Mr. TJ Clutier, and that will also eliminate our favorite hoodie in Mr. Jim in the 5 seat.
All right, well, if you get knocked out, you might as well get knocked out by a 6-time WSOP bracelet winner, Mr. TJ Clutier. 8th place there for Jim, and the colorful hoodie, 1905 is the prize. Great job there, Jim, and we know we'll see you back as he's regularly playing in our cash games.
That's right. Mr. Jim has a good time here at TCH Dallas, and just happens to pick up a pretty sweet prize today of 1905.
Yeah.
Well done, Jim.
Poker fan, sports fan, and a fan of the colorful hoodies. Always welcome, Jim. Great run, buddy. And I saw in the chat, let's get that sucker pulled back up. Mr. Mitch, Mitchapalooza, says Emily and he are tuning in. Happy to see Travis back. And they're pulling for Bob in seat 2.
Yeah, Lego mentioning that it's free to watch. You think it premiered on Amazon Prime. And we got more action here in hand 18, by the way. Carlito has ripped it here from the hijack
Ruh-roh.
with the ace 7.
He is going to face some resistance from
JT in the small blind, looking down at a premium ace queen of diamonds.
Yeah, the big stack. Got the suited ace here. Ace queen kicking.
JT will take a moment to count out this bet. And then stick it in there, makes the call. Bob's got some rags, so he's in the muck.
All right.
So we will
back-to-back jammy jams.
go to the flop. Ace 7 for Carlito. He's in risk and behind. Ace queen for JT.
Nine, ace queen. Ace queen held up.
3, 5, 6. Little spice to it.
Couple more outs now.
That 7 picks up a gutter ball. 3 of diamonds.
Well, couple more outs for a chop now.
Opportunities out there as well. 3 of spades. That puts trips on the board. Not a chop. Ace queen's going to hold. And that will eliminate Carlito. Back-to-back eliminations in hands 17 and 18.
Back-to-back knockouts, like you said. Carlito is going to be our 7th place finisher, taking home $2,215. Great job, Carlito. Great job making it to a TCH Dallas final table out of 217 entries. GG's there. We will see you again, brother.
GG's for Carlito, finishing in 7th place tonight.
Then there were 6.
6, just like that. Is a quick one. About 2,900 now locked up, I think.
I don't know that anybody ever asked.
25.95.
25.95, pardon me. Wrong number in the wrong spot.
Well, because I'm fun like that. Sure. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that
6-handed now.
So, like you say, you want
TJ Clutier under the gun, looking down at ace jack.
Raise to 120,000. Fold. Sure. Fold, fold. And a fold.
All right.
Ace Jack raises it up, finds no resistance, takes it down.
Takes it down. Justin saying he likes seeing TJ at a final table, and we like seeing TJ drag pots.
That's right.
Cool hat indeed.
Shiny P, hot 16K up top. Pretty awesome. We agree. It's the big one coming at you from Texas Card House Dallas. You can play this particular event almost every Saturday. Greatest weekly in all the land. 16K up top.
Fold, fold, fold.
Scoop's going to go just a little bit bigger than a min click. He's got 135. He's opened with under the gun.
Fold. And fold. Button is correct.
And takes it down. Gibson is going to be our short stack, but still got plenty to work with. Got over 600,000. Blinds at 25, 50, 50. And the Trailblazer Poker Tour, of course, that's not going to be till September, but we wanted to put those dates up there. But wanted to remind you that this month,
in June,
TCH Dallas and Las Colinas are offering the 9 for 99 special. Of course, everybody knows that the price of everything's going up, including playing poker here in Texas. But if you buy the 9 for 99 special, you can do one a day at either club. You can save $3 per hour this month doing it.
Do it. 9 for 99.
Jump on that, folks. Saw some players coming in the wee hours of the morning when I was still at the tables, purchasing those specials this morning.
Yep. Buy one daily at each club. Back to action, hand 21. Two of our players with a lot of chips here. JT opened it up from the hijack with pocket nines. He's been 3-bet. TJ has big slick in the small blind.
It's a total of 525,000 I need, so I need 75,000 more.
I'm sorry.
You're doing just fine. I appreciate all that. I'll take all the help I get, TJ. It's my first day back, so.
You didn't forget.
King 5-8, ace king lands here for TJ, and he instantly goes all in.
Did you see how quickly those cards went into the muck
Instant
from TJ?
all in and insta-muck.
You know, the only time the players are kind of making some jokes there about the sunglasses, but the only time I really feel comfortable wearing my shades is in tournaments.
Yeah.
Cash games I don't really mess
I
with.
used to wear them a lot in tournaments. I just enjoyed the character of it, and
yeah, I'll rock them in
being a little
in tournaments. The only
incognito.
problem is the ones I wear are so dark. Sometimes it affects the way I see things, including my hands. So.
Now that I'm well in my 40s, I've gotten where I don't see like I used to. So yeah, it's not near as fun.
Yeah, it does give you the ability to hide your eyes behind those shades, and especially when you're playing with a bunch of strangers you've never played with before.
Mama always told me, do not lie to me because I can see your eyes.
That's right. All right, there we go. Graphics catching up. Paul did take that one down. And we are on to the next hand. 9 more minutes at this blind level. 25,000, 50,000, 50,000.
Fold. Raised to 135.
Yeah, I like that shiny P. You don't see it very often in the cash games.
Call 135. That's good.
Scoop raising it up here on the button with Jack 8 of clubs.
Yeah, PJ Paul feels like maybe this is kind of becoming a theme every time Scoop's got the button.
And he's got a suited ace-4, so that's where we're seeing a flop, and boy, does he like this one. He's got a gut shot and nut flush draw. King, deuce 3, 2 diamonds.
Scoop's probably going to put in another bet here, but we can see he is going to face some resistance. Might even get a raise here.
80,000 here from Scoop. Just a call from PJ. 6 of clubs here. Now, Scoop picking up a backdoor flush draw, and his pair outs will be live as well, as long as it's not a diamond.
Yeah, big change in equity there,
275,000.
which is going to give Scoop some confidence to put in a little chunkier bet, 275.
Call.
King of spades pairing the board here, so both players stuck whiffing their draws. We'll see what happens here.
Check.
Tough to take a jack high to showdown.
250,000.
350 here from Scoop.
Fold.
Scoop doing work. Nice pop for him.
Yeah, I thought a check raise there on that flop would have been a great opportunity for Party Paul to take that one down, PJ Paul, but
Yeah, I felt like that's a pretty good spot there to check raise as well. Try to pick that one up.
yeah, but in turn, those clubs gave Scoop a little more confidence to keep firing, and of course, you've got to fire to win
Yeah, and then he
at the river.
It was a
with
good thing that he
just got
slowed
jack
down there
high.
on the turn a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it might have got blown up. But if it does get blown up, ace high happens to take it down. Tisk in the chat.
Yeah, Lego scene.
Yeah, and that's
the
a-
cards were shown.
That's a pretty big show there from PJ Paul as well, to show that you flatted with the ace-4 suited and you flatted with when you get a big flop. Yeah, Scoop definitely took notice of that.
It's all in.
And PJ Paul says, you know what? You took some chips from me. You're raising me again.
I got a pair this time and the button. I'm going to rip it.
790.
Scoop will do a little bit of showmanship and accounting here before throwing those cards in the muck and preserving his $2.15 million.
There you go. Just like that, PJ Paul gets some of those chippies he just lost back, and he's
There you
back
go.
over $1 million. Nice hand there for Paul.
Well done, Paul. Ryan
Sigalo.
Sigalo. What up, fellas? Hello, Ryan.
What's cracking, my man?
I was about to go to Spain and give that the Sigillo. But I knew that didn't sound right. I was like, that's not what we call him. Yeah, Ryan Sigalo. What's up, buddy?
Happy stacking out there. Are you out there in the room? Will we see you later this evening, my man? Happy Saturday night, though, to everybody. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. Finally cleared up here in DFW. Got some sunny weather.
Man, did we ever. I was hanging out at the pool today.
Tangerine Speedo?
I went out there and told myself I was going to kill 20 minutes, and I think I killed about an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, I'm sure the ladies loved it, RJ.
That's right. I was not the only Speedo at the pool today, so that was a little alarming, but
Glad I didn't join you today. The legs are looking pasty, though, RJ. I got to get them out there in the sun here.
Well, come on.
Pretty soon. It's been rainy and nasty for about a week and a half. What's going on, William? Cheers, amigo. Yeah, flush draw or baby pair or something. Knew we could get him off of it. Oh, man. Somebody get Ryan a Band-Aid. He's headed to the poker hospital. RJ and I have been there recently.
yeah.
Oh.
They got a room for me.
Fold.
Bob's ripped it here, by the way. He's on the button with ace-queen and just rips it. JT came in there from the cutoff with that suited Jack-10 of hearts.
And fold.
Jack-10 in the muck. Bob finds a good spot there. Takes it down.
Rip City for Bob. He was getting short. Yeah, Scoop is excellent, excellent tournament player. We really need to maybe get with some of these guys that are our regulars on final tables
Sure.
and see if they know how many times they've appeared on this live stream.
Right.
So we can brag on him more, because we know Scoop's definitely
He would be up there in the top
top 10 or so.
Yeah, I would say 5 easily. He's been on a lot of final tables.
We had Aubin in the chat earlier. He's another one, but
Yep.
you know, Tejas had a great run for quite a while making final tables. Well, yeah, we've had a lot of folks that have just made tons of final tables, and I would love to know who our top dog is, who's made the most
that would be
final
fun.
tables.
Definitely.
I have my guesses, but I don't want to sell anyone short.
Would be a fun little chart to keep track of.
Absolutely.
King, king, deuce. 1 club here for JT. Scoop in the big blind, flopping not much.
Goodness, Cornell Irons letting us know that it's 108 degrees already in Vegas.
I mean, it's June. It's time.
Goodness.
It is the middle of June. It's time to stop raining. It just kind of hasn't yet.
Nice little pot there for JT.
But if I remember correctly, now's about right for it to stop raining and then get hot, right?
Yep. My nephew just got back December, finished school from Pittsburgh State in Kansas. And after 5 years up there in Kansas, he is not used to the humidity and the heat.
I'm convinced the sun doesn't shine in Kansas. Every time I went to play a baseball team in Kansas, they were always pasty white. I'm like, guys, do y'all not like practice outside? What's the deal here?
Yeah, but my nephew played in some games up in Michigan and some places that were super cold, and he's like, "Uncle, I think I like the cold better." I'm like, "No,
not me,
not me." Maybe when you get old and your bones are getting brittle, it's just no bueno. But yeah, give me the Texas heat all day long. Just give me some water next to it.
Seeing some battle of the blinds here, club on club violence. Scoop with the jack deuce. He lands middle pair. PJ, queen 7, landing not much, but he will bet in position. Scoop makes the call.
Does check it over again. Paul not going to take the bait and bet this time.
Check the turn. Scoop will check the river, probably with a check call switch on.
And check.
Checks back, shows the jack.
Check. Scoop shows that he has a jack.
Jack is going to be good.
It's got a check mark. Take it down. Justin Mowry in the chat reminding us that a TCH mystery bounty would be fun. We've had one before, and it was a good time.
It was a great time. I made a deep run in that tournament, and I didn't get a single bounty. But I think I had like $2,000 worth of ladder ups on day 2. So at least I made some good money in that for the one buy-in. But, man, everybody was knocking people out all around me. I had a guy my table within a 30-minute period pull a $10,000 and a $5,000 bounty, and I couldn't get nada.
Yeah, I remember when the big mystery bounty was pulled. It's one of my favorite highlights on the YouTube channel, on the TCH Live channel, but I'm sure you got to do some scrolling or whatever to find it, but it's a fun one, yeah.
Well, we had if it's the same tournament that I'm thinking of, when we had the two $20,000 pulls that were done, it was the 2 guys that ended up heads up at the final table.
Whew.
They were the ones that pulled the $20,000 bounties. And then they ended up heads up. You know, they both ended up with almost a 6-figure score just with the 20K bounties plus the prize that they were making. So that was quite a run there for those 2 gentlemen. They were 20 and 20 the last time we had the mystery bounty.
Yeah, and I'm wanting to say like the Poker Atlas mystery bounty might have been a 50K.
Uh-huh. And yeah, I'm not going to be going out to the WSOP this year, Ryan. I'm probably just going to stick around here. But a lot of folks are already out there, and I've seen some folks come back, and they're going to make another run. My co-commentator, Aaron McAvoy, has already gone out there. He commentates the cash games with RJ and I on Tuesdays. He's about to go head back out to Vegas. I know he's going to play in the main event this year, so good luck to anybody that's going back out to Vegas, and shout out to those folks there now. Hope somebody, if I can't be the one to go out there and bink a big one, I hope somebody out there from our TCH family of players and of course co-workers, hope somebody goes out there and strikes it big. That is always the goal. And yeah, Poker Atlas, oh not Poker Atlas, excuse me, the Trailblazer schedule is out, Ryan. Not the schedule of the tournaments, but the dates, I should say. We'll put that up here in a minute, but September when that kicks back off, and it's going to be in Dallas starting September 25th. Dallas and Las Colinas will be hosting those
September, right?
Trailblazer events. Yes, sir.
Scoop raising up with ace-jack in the cutoff. He'll take that down.
Texas T Poker is in the
What
chat.
up, Texas T?
He banked him a little tournament over there at Las Colinas, I believe. Got him a coin. So congratulations, brother.
Binking it up. Could have swore I had a highlight on my Instagram of that fun mystery bounty. I can't find it. If you're on my Instagram, go find it for me. The Dupe Show. It's on there somewhere.
All right, Scoop heating up here in the hijack with a king-queen offsuit and 2.3 million in his stack. He's going to raise it up. Paul right behind him again with a weak ace. He's just going to get out of the way. Yeah, Justin, we'll talk about Dusty Smith here shortly.
Raised to 450.
And her nice run she's already had out there in Vegas. Bob waking up with the ladies. Couple of red queens for Bob. And he's going to put more than half his stack in there. It's got to be a little alarming there for Scoop. No fold equity for Bob. Scoop's got to realize that it's going to be an all-in or nothing here. And he lets it go. Shows the hand, king, queen in the muck. Bob does not show the two ladies.
Nice hand for Bob, 285,000 in profit. That'll bump him up just a bit. Yeah, my man Hugh. My man Hugh.
Hugh.
Yeah, he was the guy that, and it was a 40K. I did find it on my Instagram.
On the Poker Atlas?
Yep.
Yeah, Hugh, yeah.
It was a 40K.
Hugh win, right?
Mystery bounty, yep. My man Hugh picked that up, and he happened to have the chip lead at the final table when he hit it.
Heck yeah.
So he had a nice little cash that day as well. So yeah, you had a good day. And I think he picked, I think he had another mystery bounty that was worth
he did
a decent
he
amount.
Had two nice chunky ones.
Yeah, like
there
a 2,500 or something.
I do remember that. Shout out to Hugh. We're about to talk about Dusty, and these hands couldn't be any dustier. Gibson does wake up with the one good one here, the King Jack, and he's going to get that all in through there. That's got to feel good. He's been kind of quiet for an orbit or so. And speaking of Dusty, yeah, so Dusty Smith, who is a local player here, local crusher, had a six-figure score on one of our final tables on a big event here. She went out to Vegas and got second place in a $2,000 buy-in WSOP event. She
with a whole bunch of entries.
She really wanted that bracelet. Didn't get it, but she finished second place, and it was $290,000 for her.
That's right.
So her first cash out in Vegas this year was $290.
Pretty good beat.
Literally just 2 days, I think, later, it was a multi-day tournament at the Wynn.
Yeah, I think
or maybe it was a one-day.
I think she went final table, and then next day was the high roller for the ladies event.
The women's high roller at the Wynn, and over $60,000 for her. So
and that
she took that bad boy down.
That was the inaugural high roller event for the Wynn.
Yep.
for the ladies, so she will forever be known as the first winner of that event.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
And yeah, now over $1 million in earnings, by the way.
That she was at 700 something, and boom,
Ooh.
2 days, 350K plus.
She deserves it. She is
does.
a crusher.
We love having her play on our stream. She's played on some cash streams, and of course, she's been on some final tables here. She was in that one, I forgot what event that was, but it was her and our awesome friend Hayden Fortini. And there was another gentleman, and they did a 3-way chop, and all 3 players got over 100,000, including Dusty. And that was awesome.
60 That's cool.
But yeah, sweet run for her already out there in Vegas. 218 friends right now, RJ, are tuning in.
218 of you. Thank you, guys.
Just about to hit the hour mark, and we've got 6 of our finest players left here, all battling for $16,000 up top. Got a lot of shout-outs for TJ Clutier. Who do you guys got? I know Mitch rooting for seat 2, Mr. Bob, Mitch and Emily. Who do you guys think is going to take this down?
Yeah, Gibson here, our short stack in the 3 seat with just under 11 blinds. Everyone else has plenty of chips here, so could be an interesting little spot here as we play this out. Blinds are 30,000, 60,000.
Raise now 135.
Scoop right around 2 million in his stack. He's not afraid to work that button. He knows how to do it. King 6, good enough for an open. JT here. JT thought about defending with that queen high in the big blind, but it's in the muck.
All right, got some shout-outs from Jeremy. Says, go Gibson, go. Danny C. Says, let's go TJ. What's going on, Danny?
Raise to 200. Full.
King queen here for TJ. He'll open it up, 200,000 to go.
Full, full. And full.
Nobody wants to get out of line against the big stack. And you definitely don't want to get out of line when it's the guy with the most history. The commentator's biggest tournament wins. Well, that's kind of like asking how many Super Bowls has Jim Nantz won?
Right.
Or Tony Romo, you know? Yeah, mine aren't great big scores, like 4,700, 4,600, a couple of them. RJ had a 5-figure score.
Yeah, I've got one that's a 5-figure score, like 12,800, I believe, 11.8, maybe it was 11.8.
Yeah.
And my friend Chris Stapps is actually in that tournament. And Chris Stats taking down the 6-handed event last week in Las Vegas. We mentioned that on last week's show, his 2nd World Series of Poker bracelet. And yeah, I'm like you. I've had a lot of 4,000, 5,000s, and then I got one in the 5-digit club. It used to be a nice accomplishment to get in the 5-digit club. Nowadays, it's nothing.
These tournaments are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And Gibson now facing a raise. 2nd time he's had the jiggities. Last time he ran right into those kings. And love the flop.
Ooh, hello. We got jacks against nut flush draw here on the flop.
You can see that's a face that doesn't like that flop. When you got the 2 jacks and
Players all in.
overs show up and your opponent just gets after it, all in there.
There we go. Nice takedown there for PJ.
So the jacks are not working out for Gibby over there.
Perhaps sensed that his opponent did not like that flop. Oh, and by the way, I have nut flush draw, so let's get it. Nice job.
Blinds are at 30,000, 60,000, 60,000. So Gibson now in the small blind. Got some work to do.
Yeah, Suave, come back and ask that question when our friend Money McAvoy's in the booth. He's probably got some bigger, better answers for you.
That is true. Aaron McAvoy had a good six-figure score, I believe,
Yeah,
just last year down in Austin. So one of our co-commentators has a good big old six-figure score.
So between the three of us, we got a little bit. We just have to count on him.
Fold. Fold. We'll head up.
All right, Scoop raised it up with Jack 10. His is offsuit. JT makes the call with Jack 10 of spades, and we get a flop of 7-9, 2 spades. So Scoop's not going to hate this flop. I mean, unless there's a hand that's free rolling him right behind him. 5 of hearts here on the turn.
Is the lovely Miss Beverly on the stage, bringing Party Paul some snacks and a Coke Zero.
Shout out to Beverly and our
130,000.
lovely service staff here at Texas Card House Dallas, keeping you hydrated. Snacks and beverages. 130,000 here on the turn.
Chop-a-rooney. How about a chop?
8 of hearts. Spicy, yet not so much.
Board is paired. Both players, jack high straight.
Yeah, JT's got 1.1 million back there, so this could get a little interesting.
450,000.
450. Scoop sees that stack over there, wants to bet about half of it.
Call.
JT makes the call, and we'll go to Chopsville.
Jack 10 for a straight. Jack 10 for a straight. Go ahead, take your money back.
Take your money back. We're going to chop this bad boy up.
He had spades too? He had spades.
He did have spades. Scoop C, and he was kind of getting free rolled there. Woo! It's always interesting, though, when the players hold the same hand to see what happens if they both brick, right?
Sure.
Who's going to take down the pot by being aggressive and betting when they've got nothing with the same holdings? Our boy Jedi Master Ted in the chat. He wants to know what TJ's Hendon Mob totals are at. Well, TJ's got $10,564,189 in career poker tournament
Goodness
winnings.
gracious, you lost me in that 10,000 bazillion thing.
And if you look up TJ Clutier on his Hendon Mob, God bless him. I don't know if he's
Does that mean about 10 million?
$10 million.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got $10.5 million in tournament wins. His best live cash was an $896,000 tournament cash. But look at that perm.
Look at that perm.
Look at that curly hair.
Man,
TJ Clutier.
He barely got a driver's license in that picture.
Good looking son of a gun. But yeah,
Tell you what.
10 million, 10.5 million in his Hendon Mob earnings.
We're getting better. Always improving. We got a full. Players all in.
All right. Gibby says, I don't need no jacks. How about the Mitchapalooza hand? The tanks. Pocket tens.
Gibson's hanging in over there. He's got 10s. He's ripped it.
Fold.
No resistance. Taking it down.
Scoop with the 9-7 in the big blind. Just like, nope, I just can't give you 400,000 with the 9-7
So
off.
Gibby hadn't been able to jump in there a ton, but he's picking up some premiums here and there, enough to keep him alive. He's doggy paddling over there.
Hanging around.
Hanging around. $560,000 now for Gibson, just below the 10x mark.
All right, 60 to play.
Bob and hijack with ace 9. He's going to raise it up. Gibson contemplating here with a jack 9.
Yeah, if I'm him, anything with a jack in it, I think I'm just getting out of there.
On that hand?
Yeah. River, right? You talk about river?
Yeah, river.
Definitely. Yeah. I would.
Raises the 145.
Scoop still wanting to know if he maybe could have got his
His
opponent off that chop, but
It
yeah.
was an interesting spot, but I agree with
When you bid the 400.
JT that he's going to make the call there.
If it's a pair on the board,
That one, yeah, that's a harder one.
that's the harder question.
Call
And then I think TJ was wanting to know, well, what if he raises you all in after
That's
you
right.
put the bet out there? That's the tougher question there, Scoop. Scoop agreed. He's like, you know what, TJ? You know a thing or two about a thing or two.
PJ Paul going to defend here from the big blind with 4-5, and every time we get a fun defend, we get open-ended with a paired flop. 6-6-7 here on the flop.
Players all in.
PJ going to rip it here, just right in the face of Bob. He's open-ended on this flop. Bob, the original raiser. Bob, of course, with ace-9, probably not going to love it.
Does fold, yeah. PJ Paul, nice aggressive play. Gets Bob to fold. An ace-high, better hand there. Mitchell A joining us. What's up, Mitchell A? You know, I think it's the second week in a row somebody has told me a story of the big hand that got them to the final table.
Oh, yeah?
And it included a hand that they won courtesy of Mr. Mitchell A. And I'm not liking these guys telling me stories about them
Man.
picking on my buddy, Mitchell A.
That is rather rude. What's up, Mitchell A?
Yeah, I think Bob told me that he was running pretty short and had a pair of jacks.
And then he went to picking on Mitchell.
Who had a pair of kings.
Oh, my goodness.
And flopped a set on him. And that turned Bob's turning around, and here he is on a final table. But tournament players know you got to get it in bad a few times in a tournament. Suck out to get there.
I should be ready then.
Yeah.
All right, TJ going to raise it up at pocket 9s here. Scoop on the button with ace-10. And, oh, by the way, they both have a bunch of chips. Chip leaders, so Scoop does not want to mess with that right now. PJ Paul in the small blind with queen-7 of diamonds.
Full.
Also in the muck.
Niner.
TJ takes it down.
And shows the Niners. Uh-oh. Even the pro, the Hall of Famers showing cards.
Yeah, if you're going to show your hand, make sure you got 6 World Series of poker bracelets before you do it. Yeah,
right.
TJ always has a good time at these final tables, and even getting to these final tables, you know, he's got to where he knows everybody and has some fun little rivalries with a couple of the dealers that play, and
For sure.
TJ's a good time.
Breaks. Now 165. 165.
I was still playing cash this morning when all these players were coming in to start their day and play the tournament.
Players all
I
in.
had a nice overnight session. I saw Dory Coyle and Jim go talk to TJ this morning. There's a lot of players, you know, have become friends with him over the years.
I know in the last couple of bigger tournaments, he and Eliud have been stuck at the same table, and they were getting after it and having a good time, talking smack to one another, and
Nice.
so they've built up a fun little rivalry amongst each other, and it's good times.
All right, well, Bob is going to rip it all in for 730 with the 2 3s here. A couple of crabs.
That's twice now you did that to me.
Good.
Uh-oh.
Raising my
just
big blind
thinking
when I
that.
get
There's 6 people on the table.
Speaking of getting after each other, Scoop's like, this is twice now.
Next time I auto call.
I don't think you will with queen-7.
He ain't calling with queen 7, Scoop.
Okay, what I call.
If he would have turned those 3s over, though, I think Scoop might have snapped him.
Then he
with-
would have,
with
yes.
the suited queen 7, the one time that you got 2 overs. And a flush draw.
That's right.
He lived up close to me.
Yeah, I knew that. You guys were talking quite a bit.
So-
Nice, nice pot there for Bob. He's hanging around as well. 985,000 for him. So he's keeping that leg up on Gibson at least. Gibson now in the big blind.
Touche, Mitchell. But I'm telling you, I don't like them picking on you. I told him I'm gonna have to take him out behind the shed. They're picking on my boy
Yeah, once Mitchell A gets a seat up here at this final table,
again because he's been
again,
up here.
sure. Like, we're just going to have to make it permanent and
Yeah.
let them know Mitchell A's going to start making some runs.
65.
I feel one coming on.
Fold players all in.
All right, scoop raise from the hijack, and guess what?
Bob ain't messing around.
Bob ain't messing around. He rips it again.
Down the gauntlet now.
Back-to-back hands. Scoop gets to open it.
He told him he was going to call him next time he ripped it on him.
TJ probably reminded him of that.
Holding this tuition. I just finished the tuition, so.
And Travis,
Yeah, both-
Travis is kind of like, doo 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 doo.
Both players here with actually better holdings than the previous
Laid
hand.
down the gauntlet and didn't slow him down one
Don't
hour.
call me. Don't call me if you not do it.
JT and TJ having a good time with
I
that.
would have called you. If you call, I probably would have called. If you called me.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Bob said my hand got better this time. Let's see if he was kidding.
that's a fun one.
I was shoving that
I
right.
could be like an amateur.
I'm calling
Counter
your
all
stack.
wipes and
Yeah, you're calling my stack. I know I'm getting a call.
It happens
I
sometimes.
know, it used to be the true sign of an amateur player.
All right.
Over there in those little suits.
Gibby, Mr. Gibson there just went through the big blind. He's in the small blind now with just over 7 big blinds left, so getting near that danger zone.
Danger kicking in there. He's wants to survive this small blind here at least. He'd probably prefer a triple up, but
Great.
Bob
250.
is on a heater.
look at this. Bob got jiggities now. Jacks are going to open up here from the button. 250,000. Gibson with king high. Somewhat tempting, but doesn't want to mess with Bob's raise there.
Spidey senses kind of going off there for Gibson.
Fun spot here for TJ in the big blind with a suited ace. Look at that. The pro doesn't want to mess with it. He's in the muck.
Pretty big hand in the big blind.
Yeah, if a player is on a super heater, sometimes you just let him wait until he cools down before you try to get after him.
Yeah, and they're probably not. These big stacks aren't real excited to get spicy just
I mean,
yet.
if you can't, if there's not a break spot, then that's fine too. Like I'll just continue on until there's a break. So
If that's
whatever
what
you need, man.
say.
Oh no. Oh, that's the worst, Lego.
All right, 60 to play.
Nobody at the final table who took your chips away from you.
Forgot there was a third person in the hand when he called with ace high. That's awesome.
Fold.
I had a horrific misread of my Omaha hand a couple months ago where I check raise on the river with what I thought was the nuts, and I know the nuts are in the middle. We're three-handed as well. The guy in the middle definitely has the nuts. The guy on the button, he tanked for a while. He doesn't have the nuts. So I'm going to bump it up here. Bump it up and see if we can squeeze a little more out of that guy on the button. And the guy with the nuts laughed at me. He's like, yeah, I'll go along with it, just a call. And sure enough, button calls. I was like, yeah, it worked. I turned my hand over, and it is not close to what I thought I had being.
Players all in.
Yeah, we did not have the nuts. We just sprayed off like 550 in that pot. And, yeah, Boat was the beneficiary of that, and he laughed at me all the way home.
And fold.
Good old Boat. Gibson is all in the cutoff, and it's going to get that through.
Jack 9.
Much needed jam. I said he might just throw any jack in the trash, but he went with that one. He doesn't need two
There we
jacks
go.
to win.
Hanging around 560,000. Back to that 560 mark.
Now he's got 9 big blinds, but they are coming around fast when you're six-handed.
Fold. 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 165. I apologize. 160. 160. Correction. Fold. Call 160. Head up action.
I consider. Fours are
Action.
There it
check.
is. Looks
Yeah,
like
all
ace
right.
5 versus king jack here.
There we go. And how about a 4-4-4 flop?
Bet is 60,000. Call 60.
So yeah, this is obviously becoming a fun little dynamic here with Scoop's button on JT's big blind. These two willing to battle with decent hands.
3 fours, ace 9.
There we go. There's the check mark we wanted to see.
Yeah, that was not a jack on the river. It was a 9. So JT will take that pot down with ace high.
And just seeing the schedule in June, this, of course, is the weekly bigger one tournament that we do here, the $360 buy-in, 30K guarantee. Every month, though, we do a even bigger one, and that's going to take place on the 24th of this month. So starting on Tuesday, the 24th, those flights will begin. Multi-day tournament,
And there might be
$300 buy-in,
What's after that?
250K guarantee. We've been smashing that sucker every single month.
Sorry, there's a fold in seat 3 and then raise to 200.
Smash, smash. TJ, pocket eights.
Fold.
Raise it up 200,000.
And fold. No man.
there's no.
No action for TJ in the eights. But yeah, the cool thing about that even bigger one tournament, you know, you guys and gals notice that a lot of times on this bigger one tournament, the one-day event, we do have a lot of guys that have been on final tables before. We've had a couple repeat winners on these Saturday tournaments. The even bigger one, though, we've been doing that a little over a year, I think. We have not had a winner multiple times on that sucker. So every single month, there's been a new winner of over $50,000+
I think Big John took it down the last time.
off of a $300 buy-in.
He's in for 16.
So every month, we've had a new player turn $300 into
Yeah, and that's
50 and even 60K for a couple of those that got even bigger. So
and that's a fun one. That's a big giant field. You got to work through
awesome.
a couple of days to get there, so it feels good when you get to a final table on an event like that. Not only do you win a big fat prize just from a $300 buy-in, but it's a good time. It's a pretty cool deal.
yeah, and good structure. 30-minute blind levels on the day one. Once you're in the money on day two, it's 40-minute blind levels. And just a great structure. So come on out on the 24th of this month. Your shot at winning 50K plus.
Oh, 160.
All right, we got action here. Scoops raising it up from the hijack, queen 9 of diamonds. Gibson defending with his big blind with ace deuce. Queen 9 lands top 2. Not much working here for Gibson, but he does have the ace of spades.
Bet 60,000.
On a small little bet there, trying to
Yeah,
induce a little something. Gibson not going to take the bait.
70-70 now. 35-70.
so Gibson takes a hit there in the big blind. He's now down to 340,000.
Blinds have
And
gone
the
up.
blinds going up.
See, you went from 140 to 140 to 160.
There we go. Adjusting those blind levels. They are at 35,000, 70,000, 70,000.
Yeah, well,
65
well,
That one's a hard one to find.
Chips came out. I
I'm with
thought it
you,
was
Coop.
65, and then I spread it out, and he's right. I was like, oh, you got me.
Heck yeah, Shiny P, come on up.
We got to fold. Yeah, maybe subconsciously I just thought from before. It's also possible. Fold.
JT in the cutoff, pocket sixes.
Okay. Got it. All right, this is 160 here.
160,000 to go here from JT.
Fold from 3 feet.
Well, look at this. JT, TJ,
Sorry, Felipe.
same name, same cards.
One's got the black sixes, one's got the red sixes. Of course, TJ wearing the red outfit.
All right, we are head up.
No surprise, he's got the red sixes. So this will be a fun one. Players have these same holdings. We know a 6 is not possible.
Yeah, and TJ has already shown that he's willing to check raise from this position, but not this time.
Shows the 6s, and, and TJ shows, or JT shows, hey, I had 6s too. That's always fun. Like I mentioned, when players have the same holdings, who is going to be the aggressor and try to go for the steal there?
TJ said these 6s aren't worth a darn, and JT said these are.
And he's wearing black. Look at that. The man in black takes it down.
I think a $5,000 buy-in, limit tournament. And I had ace queen of clubs, and he had ace king offsuit. I mean ace queen offsuit, and he got 4 of his suit.
Oh, wow. 70 to play. Fold, fold, fold. Fold. And a fold.
Yes, Shiny P mentioning that he's ready to come up.
Come on.
Jump in some of these tournaments.
That'll
Where are
work.
you checking in from, Shiny P?
Yeah, let us know where you're tuning in from. You mentioned coming up to Dallas.
I know. I always wonder when they say that if it's actually
Up.
or not. Yeah.
Well, like my friends in Houston, they're like, I'm going to go down to Dallas. Well,
Exactly.
it's not down.
I'm
it's
like,
up.
what you talking about, fool?
We're north of you. But, you know, on a flat earth, you know, I guess,
Right.
you know. Just kidding. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
I'm a geography
Raise
nerd.
200.
Up is north.
Fold, fold.
Scoop.
Got like 1.2.
It's like, oh, now Bob's raising? Well, I got the hand now.
Yeah, these two been getting it after a little bit. Bob raises it up. Ace 9 of clubs. Scoop says, show me your chip stack, please.
Just
Call it
a
200.
call, though.
Yeah, Shiny P from down around the good old RGV area.
Heck yeah.
I thought you might be down there.
Shout out to our friends down there at TCH RGV down in Edinburgh, Texas.
All right, 9s versus Ace 9. Let's see a flop. King, Queen 8. Only one club here for Bob. But don't know if the pocket 9s are going to love this flop.
Check.
6 of hearts on the turn. Scoop checks again. We both go check, check.
Check. Check.
And we check, check again.
Nice.
Yeah, Bob's gotten the best of Scoop a few hands in a row, and I think he just was like, you know what, this may be the one that he's got me. I'm just not going to test him here.
Yeah, I might have been able to continue a little bit on that flop and spook Scoop, if you will. But after you check that flop, it'll be tough to get him. Yeah, RGV to here is a hike.
Absolutely. You and I have been mentioning that we want to go down there, but just looking at the logistics of it, from Dallas down to Edinburgh, hasn't made a whole lot of sense just yet, but we're still planning on a little South Texas
That's
trip.
right.
Come down there, spend some time at TCH Edinburgh, and then
Trailblazer in the wintertime down there might be a good time.
drive another 45 minutes to an hour down to Padre Island.
I may never come back.
Yeah. Our old floor manager, Declan, hasn't come back. He's still down there in the RGV. Gibby's all in.
Ripping it. Let's go, Gibby. King Jack in the hijack. And it gets around to the big blind where JT has a pocket pair of 5s.
305.
Saw Gibson kind of smile there when JT asked for the count, but he's going to be happy when he does get called, or if he gets called here, that his opponent's got 5s and not a big ace. If you're going to count out the chips, stick them in there.
Definitely
He
mauling
does.
it over for just a bit. JT counts it out and does make the call.
Here we go. All right, Gibson's going to be thrilled to see that he's got it in with a pretty good shot here. King Jack versus the 5s.
Yeah, almost a full 40% here for Gibby.
Equity a little skewed because the system does know what cards have been folded already.
Good for a flop.
Which is so weird.
Here we go. Gibson at risk.
Jack 10-4.
Lands a
King
jack.
lands for Gibson. 3 of spades on the turn. Only a 5 can change it. 4.
Ooh, it's low, but it's not a 5. Gibson will survive and get the full double up, courtesy of JT in the 1 seat. So he is going to keep hanging around. Now he's got 10 big blinds.
Yeah, everybody loves that spot, right? When you're in the big blind and you get to take a shot at someone with 5 or 6 blinds and you have a tiny pair. Didn't work out that time for JT, but nice double up for Gibson. He'll take it. Just a little bit of breathing room as he now is just a little more than 10 big blinds in his stack.
Well, we have a big one tournament and an even bigger one. I saw that we also have a smaller one now on Sundays. So if you guys like a smaller one, call me.
Yeah, it's about your size, isn't it?
The Sunday small one.
70 to play.
Shout out to Tay over in the production booth.
Hello,
Joining Cooper.
Tay and Coop Dog, keeping us on.
Keeping us on and laughing at my bad jokes. That's all I need. Some would say don't encourage him, but I say please do.
Bit of a freeze. Hope we're still here. Come on, baby.
Well, we'll hit the refresh button.
No refresh yet. What?
I see our faces. Ruh-roh, did we lose the video?
Now our faces are gone. Oh, faces are back.
There's the table. You guys don't want to look at us anymore.
Well, hello there.
Looks like Bob won a hand while we had a little tech issue there.
Happy birthday, Army.
And we're having another freeze. Well, dadgum. Thank y'all for bearing with us here.
70 to play.
Thought I had time to knock down some Skittles. Internet can't make up its mind.
All right, 229 of y'all watching as we battle the internet, but these players are still battling for 16,000, so hopefully we'll get to focus more on them.
We should have about 200 likes by now with 229 viewers.
You'd think.
Call 160. Fold.
Lego reminding us that we be on our best behavior when it blacks out because the audio has not gone silent.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on us.
We'll try to refrain from an F-bomb or two when that happens.
Queen 7-6, 2 clubs. That's a set here for JT.
Setty McGetty.
First set of the evening, I believe.
Bet 200.
Brad has renamed us Waldorf and Statler.
Those guys sound hot.
And
Which one's Waldorf? I think you look like a Waldorf.
I know under this light, I definitely need a hat. All 6 hair up there taking a beating.
It's windy in here. I made sure in my couple of appearances on this here stream table, one for a cash stream and one for a final table, I finally made it on. I made sure I wore a hat.
Yeah.
Those bright lights are not very forgiving to us older fellas.
I know, look at Scoop over there. He's got a pretty, like, tan shaved head, and that light, like, works good for him.
Well, yeah, he's got some beautiful, beautiful melanin that we weren't blessed with, you know?
It's true.
raised to 175. Fold.
He's not Waldorf or Statler.
Fold. And fold.
They're giving you a shout out. Go
That's
Army
right.
with the Army.
Cornell
The
Irons
game?
recognizing. Thank you very much.
15-2, 15.
Party Paul been a little quiet. He's going to take one down there with the ace
fair enough.
deuce.
Yeah, it's a fun sweatshirt from the U.S. Army football team, but works good for their birthday as well.
My father liked to play.
My uncle played a lot of peanut.
Yeah, they have the pinnacle parlors in Daly City. You go play like a poker pool. That was the pinnacle parlor.
He was in Peoria and they had those.
All right, 70 to play.
70 to play.
Yeah, I grew up playing cribbage. First card game I ever learned how to play.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. We have a full.
Still 6 players here, hand 57.
That's a raise.
All right, Gibson had a little success earlier with the Jack 9. Going to give it a try again on the button.
Everyone's favorite hand to get in trouble with.
From the small blind. And fold. Thank you much.
Lego, not a ton. Not a ton.
This is a much better song.
The Naztec blood maybe doesn't have that genetic
Oh, does it say up
situation that the rest of the world does. 'Cause it
That's right.
Seems like almost every other culture has
And I think,
folks with thinning hair.
yeah, they talk about the thinning hair being carried by the female, at least the gene or chromosome of it or whatever.
That's the worst thing.
I had an ex-girlfriend
Make it to the final
from
table.
Mexico, and her hair was crazy
Can I
thick.
get a floor to the final table, please? Floor to the final table.
17 minutes.
Yeah, I know, this is extra long.
You have an extra chromosome, don't you, RJ?
2.
Yep. Yeah, it'll raise.
It's okay. My mom tells me I'm special too.
Fold, fold, fold.
We're all getting old. Older men need to go to the bathroom. You know?
Getting old.
All these old men talking about, hey, it's time for a potty break. It's been an hour and a half.
Some are there already.
I'd hate to do a road trip with these guys.
Yeah, still 6 players here. Talking about when in the world is their next break.
17, how come it's longer even than 2 hours?
That little box there in front of Travis probably says, but I can't quite see it.
What's that commercial say? It says it's not a going problem, it's a growing problem for us old men.
It's all kinds of problems for us old men.
That's where you play.
All right, total of 70,000. Thanks, Felipe. We got a fold, fold.
Somebody
Yeah.
said P. I kind of got to go now.
Raise 200.
So a lot of these situations, they basically tell the players, hey, you know, we have scheduled breaks, so you guys are welcome to go take a quick break, but the clock's going to keep running, which means the blinds, you know, could potentially increase on you.
And fold.
And dealers got to keep dealing here.
Not a lot, snug, but a little snug.
So yeah, I did run out there to take a peek at the tournament board. There is a break coming up after the next level.
Gotcha.
So it is coming up, but it's still far enough away that you might wet yourself.
Table 1. You got it.
Sponsored by Depends.
All good,
PJ
sir.
Paul
RD open the main game at table 7.
is going to take his time a little bit, maybe help out some of the players that stepped away. But he does have a 7 deuce, and he's going to put in a raise, something we haven't seen. 7 deuce
There we
game.
go, the hammer.
7 deuce game is not on. This is a tournament, not a cash game. So unless we have a card read error, PJ Paul is choosing to get after it on the button.
Some work in.
And just a call from JT with a hand as strong as Jack's. I'm a little surprised. Let's see what happens post flop here.
Queen 5-6. PJ raised it up here with 7 deuce, so he's going to represent pretty much everything.
You want to go to the bathroom? I'll play slow.
I'm not in a real hurry. I just have time.
You know, like we spend all
I'm telling you, Lego, there's those crazy people that play slots all day long and go for those big old jackpots. I've heard stories about them doing that very thing with the adult diaper. It just, that's,
I'd rather go with like a NASCAR outfit.
Check.
Check,
Wow.
check here on the turn.
And I can tell my partner.
And
wow.
wow. We up PJ Paul. 7 deuce going to make it straight.
and now JT decides to bet his jacks, and he just picks the wrong time.
And PJ rips it with his straight. All in.
4-liner on the board, stare down from the 1 seat. But he just played this hand so slow, he allowed the 7
Yeah.
deuce to get there.
Got himself in a little trouble there. Nice pot for PJ Paul. 7 deuce gets there. 1.68 million in the pot.
Who says you got to get good cards to win big pots in tournaments?
Yeah, PJ making some moves there, and that'll put him up second in chip stacks, right behind TJ. Nearly 1.7 for PJ. TJ now, a little more than 2.1.
Did you do your duty, RJ, and hit the thumbs up button on the app already?
Yeah,
All right. Well, I just did as well, and it's only showing 32 likes.
32. That's about 180 short.
There's still 219 of you guys and gals tuning in, so do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button, hit subscribe to the TCH channel, if you will. We're having fun. Hope you guys and gals are having fun as well here on a Saturday night.
After you make a move with 7 deuce, you're always rewarded with a premium. Borderline premium here for PJ. King Jack offsuit. He'll open it up.
180,000. Fold.
Definitely worthy of an open. JT in the muck. Bob in the muck. And it's to Gibson. Gibson, 485,000. That's enough to at least think about this. He does have an ace in his holdings.
180 is the bet. Yep.
Thankfully, I know what the acronym PP is, Lego.
Pocket pair.
Pocket pair. But thank you for letting us know that you have a great PP. He means a great pocket pair. All right, PJ Paul heating up. Takes one down. And RJ, you said the break is coming up right after this level here?
No, next level.
We have to go a whole nother level.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, they're about to finish this level, and then the
We'll have a quick 6 or so minute break. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in this level. Hand number 62, we are still playing 6-handed. 6 of our finest, which I've mentioned already if you're just tuning in. That includes Hall of Famer TJ Clutier.
Fold. Raise to 200. Call 200.
all right, JT in the cutoff. Ace queen suited. Bob with ace jack and a button.
And Gibson does have a fun hand to play in cash games, but when you're super short,
Yeah, TJ there as well. King 9 suited. They're both in the muck, though.
yeah, get out of the way.
Hello, diamonds. Jack, deuce, 8, top for Bob. Diamond, flush draw for JT.
And boy, is Gibson happy he got out of there with just the 7-5 of diamonds.
So Bob set a number there. I didn't exactly hear it. Looks like 300,000. JT makes a call. No help for JT. 7 of clubs. We might see Rip City here. Bob does do it. He's all in there.
Yeah, JT's going to want to count, but man, it's going to put him down to a nub. If he misses, he's got no pair, and great fold there.
Yeah, 1 card to go there. Doesn't want to mess with it. Big time fold there from JT. SPR stack to pot ratio there for Bob. Good enough. Rip City takes it down. Mitchell A., where you been?
Yeah, that is our boy Travis. He's going to be picking up some shifts. He's in town for a couple of months from the Pacific Northwest. He's been up in that Seattle region.
We decided to, let him hang around, do some work.
I still don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Hurla. Say it real fast. Hurla.
Hurla. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's our boy Travis nonetheless. Shout out Travis doing the dealing tonight. Looking sharp and dapper as always.
I used to have to use that maneuver in my public address days. Just say the name as fast as I could if I didn't know
Here we
how
go.
to pronounce it.
Gibson on the button. He's got a queen high.
Gibson with a rip. Gets it through again.
Yeah, again, he's been hanging on to just enough chips to get those other players to fold when he's jamming all in. So
just enough chips and just enough holdings.
Yeah, Queen 10 is not necessarily one that you want to get your whole tournament life on the line with, but you don't want to go super short either and let the whole table call you.
And when you do that and the blinds are looking at 7 high, 9 high, like that's a part of running good as well. He's had to do it. Gosh, he's probably up around 4 or 5 times now. And it's working every time.
Yes, absolutely.
GJ.
Indeed, that is TJ's. Not a spring chicken anymore, but man, can he still play some poker.
Here we go, 3-6 defending from the big blind, and he is open-ended with a pair on the flop. 4-5-5. We've seen this particular spot a couple times tonight.
Only 1 spade for Scoop. Action tracker getting caught up. It shows the action is on Scoop, but he has already checked over to Paul, who's now going to put some money in that pot.
75. Call.
Scoop is going to make the call. King high.
Check.
And we did not get to see what that turn is. Makes me kind of sad because I'm interested. It does go check, check. River's out.
Check.
So we're just going to have to guess what our turn and river are. Normally we might get a mystery card in the player's holdings. We've got a mystery turn, RJ, and mystery river.
That's right. Mystery running today. What might the mystery runner be?
There we go. Queen.
Well, it was running queens.
Now this would be a crazy call here if Scoop is able to make it with king high.
Yeah, PJ gonna take a little poke at it here. Looks like he bets 200,000.
Scoop may look him up here. Both players with 2 pair. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, Scoop does make the call here.
King high makes the call. And when you got a Hall of Fame poker player saying good call from the other side of the table,
probably a pretty good call.
It's probably a good call. Pat yourself on the back there, Scoop.
How'd you call the flop?
I was just floating.
Yeah, well played there by both players.
Yeah, Scoop letting him know I just was floating there.
Yeah, check.
Didn't think you had anything on that flop. I got 2 overs.
Queen probably bets there on the turn. Check, check on the turn. Makes it a little tough for Scoop to believe the story. Maybe a little bit of a wiggle there after he made that bet as well that
All right, 70 to play.
perhaps enticed Scoop.
A little squirmy.
Raise to 250,000.
Gibson going to fold the nice suited 7-6. And now TJ's going to use his button. Raise it up to 250. That's a juicy bet there.
Juicy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like TJ opens
sizing.
up. Yeah, TJ opens up for a little more juice than what we're familiar with in 2025 poker.
Go ahead.
And he's pretty consistent with it. And obviously, it's worked for a long time for him.
Fold, fold. Fold.
31 minutes.
You can do it.
31 minutes till the break time. Players getting a little antsy. Been playing for an hour and 45 minutes. Of course, they've really been playing since 10 o'clock this morning if they got here on time.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier that the bubble took a little while tonight on the money and coming into the final table. So this tournament holding to pattern here as we are still 6-handed.
I'll go ahead and let you know.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier, G. TJ was born in 39, and
Yeah,
that is awesome to hear that
It was,
your mom and dad are
right?
still with you.
Yeah, I was literally doing my first down.
We'll talk about it probably later on as well, especially when we go on break. But tomorrow is Father's Day, so
Father's Day.
shout out to all those dads out there.
My dad, a 41 model. Happy Father's Day, Pops.
Well, that's a raise to 160.
Of course, shout out to all the dads, the stepdads, the uncles, everybody else who sometimes has to step in and fill that role. And the moms have got to do double duty, but tomorrow is Father's Day, so don't forget. Give a shout out to all those men that have impacted your life.
Andrew, you're up in the main game at table 3.
Scoop raising it up here with King Queen, picking on Gibson's big blind, and
He's got the Randy Moss hand.
Gibson is just begging to make a hand in one of these big blinds when he gets a cheap price. I know the feeling.
Blinds will be up next hand, 40, 80, 80.
Yeah, and he knows he's got to put another 40 in next hand in the small blind.
But the problem is he probably looked at his hand.
And he's not
Yeah.
a big fan of the 8-4 off.
8-4 off in the muck.
You stacked it on top like you're about to push it.
Luckily, it only went up 5,000.
Basically, if I'm raising, I'm going to call. You're stacking.
Oh, yeah, it was 7.
10 for the, yeah, 10 for the big, yeah.
In my head, it's 7.
Not a good enough kicker, apparently.
All right, gents, we are at 40,
Are
80,
we just
80.
paired?
40, 80, 80 is the new blind level.
40, 80, 80. That's got a good ring to it. Much better than 35, 70.
That is our one awkward blind level there, the 35,000, 70, 70.
40, 80 now.
I think with your stack, anybody will raise it.
80 to play, gents. Fold.
Not just me.
Oh, well, everybody scan their hands for me, please. Everybody scan their hands.
There you go. Player's going to rescan.
Got everybody?
You can rescan mine.
Seat 4 is in, yeah.
Think Travis is going to talk a little smack here on the dealer chains and let the players know that he's going to go use the restroom.
All right, everybody
I think
good
so.
then? Please continue action. We're raised to
Like, you guys enjoy these next 30 minutes while you have to wait. I get to go get relieved. Like Brandy's going to be joining us.
Players all in.
Gibson's got a hand now. Ace Jack of Diamonds. He's going to rip it from the small blind position.
He's been patient.
All in.
He's got a beautiful ace jack suited, and
And PJ's made some hay here, opening up a little bit light. And particularly on Gibson's big blind, because you can pick on those shorties like that. But
he is going to make the call.
Now he's got himself in a fun little spot here. King high makes the call.
Well, Gibson can't ask for a better spot. He's got it in good with 65% equity with the big ace jack suited.
Gibson at risk. Ace jack of diamonds taking on king 8.
All right, flop.
Ace in the window.
There is an 8 though.
Never easy. 10 of spades. King or 8 still live here. Gibson looking to hang on. 4 of clubs. No help for king 8. So Gibson hanging around. Another double up.
I'm telling you.
Again for
Alligator
Gibby.
blood. Biggest stack he's had in a hot minute. He's up to 820,000 now. But sadly for him, that's just going to be 10 big blinds.
I mean, he's just been working that 9x, 10x, 11x, and he'll dwindle down to 5 or 6, and boom, get it back.
So yeah, if he can get something on this orbit, that will definitely help him out. Got some free hands coming, but you only get a couple of them before you're right back there in the blinds. But much needed double up there for our fella in the 3 seat, Mr.
He's been
Gibson.
kind of stuck bottom feeding tonight here at this final table, but if it works, you can ladder up a couple spots, maybe even win this, baby. Hang around. It's worth some real money.
Well, shout out again to Travis, our last dealer.
What is this worth nowadays? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still 6-handed. 6-handed. It's been a minute since we've seen those payouts. I forgot what 6th place was.
Yeah, these guys all have right at $2,600 locked up, $2,595. So the next feller out is going to get $2,595, but they're all fighting for that $16,015 up top. Here is our new dealer. This is Miss Brandy.
Travis was very nice to the players. He did not talk smack about his bathroom break.
Uh-oh, Gibby's an Aggie. Okay. Insert your favorite Aggie joke in the chat. Got to be one of those, like, how many Aggies does it take to screw in a light bulb kind of jokes?
Oh, they're out there.
Those jokes are out there. Let us know your best Aggie joke.
Gibby's got another hand here. Gibson with King Jack. And, oh, by the way, just going to flop top 2. King Jack 6.
Top twosies.
And we're going to have your opponent holding a king.
250 into 470. What do you do if you're scoop? He said all in, and guess what?
Oh, wow. Scoop's going to rip it with that King 8.
The Aggie bottom feeder, according to Jeremy, is going to get it in here.
Finding a very friendly spot. Top 2 against King 8. Gibson could go back-to-back doubles here.
Yeah.
7 of clubs on the turn. That's going to give Gibson the check mark. Back-to-back doubles, and this one's got some meat on it.
Yes, it does. No skinny rabbit, RJ.
Not a skinny rabbit at all. Nearly $2.4 million, so that'll bump Gibby way up. He doesn't have to worry about 7 blinds anymore.
Big old hand there for Gibby. And that is all it takes to get you right. Top pair versus top pair, but it was top 2 pair for Gibson. And a full double, and he is now the chip leader. Is that right?
$2.38 million, and our new chip leader, Mr. Gibson. Hanging around. Now, he and Scoop almost fully swaps. Yeah, it looks like only about $775 over there for Scoop. And a pile of red chips now for Mr. Gibson. So yeah, the chip leaders now in the 3-seat and the 2-seat. Mr. Bob hanging around at about $2 million. TJ at about $2 million. PJ, JT, and Scoop now going to be battling it out.
Yep, I knew that was going to be your answer, Lego. A lot of my Aggie buddies that are engineers will tell you that very same thing. Call me boss.
Free rate was 175.
Nice. G says his dad's been bicycling for 50 years and still rides 2 to 3 times a week. Yeah, gotta stay active. Can't be sedentary. The older you get, gotta stay active and keep that heart moving.
Gibson still feeling the heat over there. He's got ace king this time. Raise it up 175,000. PJ Paul makes the call with jack deuce and the big blind. Not much help here for PJ Paul. Gibson's ace king looking decent. 5 of clubs on the turn.
PJ Paul gotten short. Ace of clubs for Gibby.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to talk himself into the rip. Tough spot there for sure. PJ does check it. Gibby's going to go 400,000. That should be enough to end it.
Absolutely. The heater continues.
Gibson picking up more.
Started from the bottom, now he's here.
I'd say that's a pretty good lap of the button there for Mr. Gibson. Well done.
And if there's a spot that you want to run good and get on a heater in a poker tournament, it's right here at the final table.
That's where you need that heat for sure. Start getting 7-6 handed. Heat makes real money. Why go home with 2,500 when you could battle it out for 16,000 up top?
All the lights went off around the table.
We just unplug it. We good to go. Someone kicked the plug.
And we had our beautiful lights on this evening, and it looks like
Yeah, it's a cool feature
they just played out.
that the table has when it's working, but not currently working. Those lights will light up and let players know when the action is on them. Scoop is going to get an all-in through right there with the pocket sevens.
Pocket sevens on the button, definitely worth an open, and he'll just rip it. This beautiful queso table here at Texas Card House Dallas even looks good without the lights. I mean,
That's
look,
right.
Look at
Beautiful
that.
Dallas skyline in the background. Got Reunion Tower right there just above the word Texas on the table. It's grown on me, the queso colored yellow.
I knew it would.
Yeah, well, what gringo in the state of Texas doesn't love him some chips and
That's
queso,
right.
you know?
That's why I made up my own color. Just to bring my friends along.
350.
TJ knows what to do with an ace-king. He's going to raise it up.
Seeing that one a time or two, bumps it up.
Oh, the jack nine.
He's even happy about it.
He's happy about it. He's showing the strength of his hands. He's having a good time.
No, the one for tonight.
Yeah. Oh, 4.
Pocket fours.
19 minutes till break for these guys. 40,000, 80,000 the level.
Mitch Lloyd got himself a bike. He's been riding. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a shovel.
Shout out, Mitch.
And I got the top.
Had a pretty decent mountain bike that the year I lived in Denver, I rode once and then sold during COVID. Might need to invest and get a bike myself. PJ Paul is going to be all in. Found an ace. He's going with it.
Ace 5, Rip City.
And can he avoid the heater?
Oh, my goodness. Gibson.
The heater that is Gibby.
Slow down. All right, Gibson's got ace-king, big slick in the big blind, makes an easy call.
Now it's Gibby's turn to try to knock a player out. He's got the biggest of slicks.
Jack 7 deuce. No help for ace 5. Oh, picking up a little bit of outs. 3 will make a gutter ball. 7 of hearts. No help for ace 5, and Gibson gets a knockout of his own. PJ Paul finishing tonight's big one in 6th place.
Great run there for PJ Paul. Really enjoyed watching some of the plays he made tonight. Just kind of running into it there at the end as he got short. A great job finishing 6th place out of 217 entries, taking home just shy of $2,600. Again, a $360 buy-in. That is a nice little prize there. And we are 5-handed.
Yeah, sweet run for PJ Paul tonight. A lot of fun seeing him on the final table, a guy that's been playing in a lot of our tournaments here and there and been working on his game, and it's fun to see him build up into these final table appearances. Well done today.
Party Paul. He's got $2,600 to go party with
you
now.
Betcha.
The 5 of clubs has exposed himself.
All right, JT's going to rip it now. He's ready to party. And TJ making the call with ace 8.
Could we have back-to-back hands again with eliminations, just like we did earlier?
Yeah, this time it's going to be JT at risk.
TJ and JT are
calling with the ace high.
We're going to lock horns here. The ace 8 versus the queen jack. JT, the one at risk.
10, 10, 8. Gutter ball outs here for queen jack. 3 of spades. No one holding a spade. Queen jack or 9.
No.
7 of hearts. Ace 8 going to hold for TJ. And that will eliminate Mr. JT in 5th place.
All right.
Back-to-back eliminations again.
There we go. 5th place finisher, JT. Got to take a pause there to say it.
Nailed it.
Knocked out by TJ. JT, great job finishing 5th place out of 217, taking home $3,135. And here comes that big pay jump.
Yeah.
The last 4 players have already got $4,000 locked up.
Yep, fifth place, a little over 3K. Now we're talking some serious prizes, 4K for the next one.
Yeah, another great run, though, by JT. Love seeing that hat he wears.
How about Gibby hanging on all night long? Now he's got the chip lead, 4-handed.
3.2 million, RJ.
Ace queen on the button.
Ace queen on the button? Are you kidding me? This is a serious heater.
Yeah, now he gets to pick on Scoop's big blind, and Scoop has king jack of hearts himself.
Just hit that 2-hour mark. Little short break coming if these players can survive this. And all in.
Scoop does rip it with king jack of hearts. Gibson beats him in the pot with ace queen.
Back-to-back hands with all ins. Players at risk. This time it's Scoop at risk.
You heard that right. 3 hands in a row. We've seen
ace.
Ace, queen, 8, top 2.
Royal flush
for
draw.
Gibson. Big flop here for king jack of hearts and Scoop.
10 or a heart.
5 of spades.
Wow.
3 eliminations in a row. King jack of hearts whiffs the world.
Yeah, the money.
And Gibson.
Money's getting in on that flop, isn't it, anyway?
Gibson
right?
with more heat and more chips in the 3 seat.
What a heater Mr. Gibson is on, but great job there for Scoop. Another final table for Scoop.
Another final table.
That's all he does is make final tables, and he's got another $4,000 to go into his tournament winnings. Great job there, Scoop. 4th place out of 217. What a run. Great to see you on another final table.
Yeah, $4,060 his prize. And Scoop is one of my favorite players to kind of root for, just in that as we see players play around the room, you know, we pick our favorites of who we think might be really good, and Scoop is pretty good. So I
Amber Gibson.
Definitely like rooting for Scoop.
She's throwing a little shade back to, what they call TU. They won't ever call them the University of Texas, but she says the T-Sips threw firecrackers at the Aggies. The Aggies laughed, lit them, and then threw them back. I'm just glad that rivalry is back. You get those teams playing each other every year now that they're both in the SEC. Yeah.
And, of course, being a
Sooner guy that you
Yeah,
are.
being Sooner born is Sooner bred, I like to pick on the Longhorns as well.
PC4, fold.
You could have let me walk.
Yeah.
My sister's an Aggie as well, so got a lot of love for the Ags in the great state of Texas. You know, when they're not playing each other, I root for Texas teams for sure.
I visited Texas A&M when I was in high school many moons ago. That was a fun little visit for me.
School has grown, and that stadium, the football stadium, is just awesome now. The additions they've made to it. But
we're three-handed now, by the way.
We are three-handed. We are 12 minutes away from that break that these players were so eagerly awaiting. But we only got 3 suckers left.
Bob, Gibson, TJ, Clutier.
Not to be confused with Bob Gibson, the famous pitcher, RJ, but that is Bob.
St. Louis Cardinal.
In the 2 seat, Gibson in the 3, and of course TJ in the 4.
Queen 10-4, 2 hearts. Bob's going to land top pair here.
I mean, is Gibby just going to hit that jack on the turn? Is it just going to happen?
Jack of hearts would be silly.
Jack of hearts would indeed be silly. 400,000. He's got 3.8. It's just a gutter ball. He is going to let it go. Good disciplined fold there.
Sorry, I just looked at myself. We're 3, right?
Jay to the progress. Jay to the progress.
I had the trickle of that. Me too. You probably had a bigger trickle. You had a straight.
Still 230 folks tuned in. Thank y'all for joining us on a Saturday night. If you've taken the time to join us here, do us a favor and smash that like button, hit subscribe to the channel. Help us grow this sucker and continue to bring you these live streams. Of course, TCH is now streaming from all of our locations: Austin, the Rio Grande Valley, Houston, and of course, right here in Dallas. Catch us on Tuesday nights here at TCH Dallas as well for a big cash stream. We just had a really fun one, 5-5 game last week.
Man, that was a good time.
Yeah, players were getting after it, having some drinks. We'll be back in the booth this Tuesday as well for a cash game stream. TJ Gibson going to lock it up here. And that is a good turn card for Mr. Clutier. Double paired board. He's got a king. That is the high card. And he's now over 3 million in chips. Yeah, we're just 10 days away from the month of June's even bigger one. I mentioned it earlier. Starting on Tuesday, the 24th, even bigger one tournament, which is our $250,000 guaranteed prize pool, $300 buy-in, multi-day tournament. Flights will start on Tuesday, the 24th.
Tuesday, the 24th. That'll be a good time all week.
Day 2 is going to be Sunday. Everybody on day 2 is in the money. And, of course, we will stream the final table on that Monday night and see who's going to be the winner of $50,000 plus off a $300 buy-in. Pretty badass opportunity there that we do once a month here at TCH Dallas. All right, who you got, RJ? We've got Gibson,
man,
TJ, and Bob. The final 3, hand number 80.
Yeah, TJ's got a lot of chips there with position on the chip leader. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Gibson running with super fire emoji right now. And Bob just hanging out over there watching all the chaos. He's been able to maintain a decent chip stack. Fun little finish as we go down the stretch here for Gibson, TJ, and Mr. Bob.
I tried to re-look up TJ on his Hendon mob, and when I typed in TJ, it wanted me to go to TJ Maxx. Well, I'm not looking for any cheap clothes. I'm looking for our Hall of Fame poker player right here. So I could go back to his Hendon mob.
You don't have a back on that thing? Or? There it is.
Like so bad I can't even just flat ball
Just looking at all these recent caches of his, and a lot of them are right here in the DFW area and at our card room.
That's right. Love to
He
have.
finished 8th place back in November in this very event.
Yep. I think you and I were working that one.
Yeah.
Gibson open up here from the button with 8-5 of clubs. We got a 3-bet from Mr. Bob, King, Queen of Spades. Let's go. Gibson makes the call, and we get a flop now. 5-3-10, middle pair for Gibson. Spade draw for Bob. Bob wasting no time. 2 overs and a flush draw. He's ripped it.
Yeah, and Gibson's kind of thinking about this. Would he really be just ripping it all in with just a 10? Or is this something just like what he's got here? 2 spades. Hard to flop a pair in this game. Do you want to get after it here with just a pair of 5s?
1.2 million, just a little over what was in the pot here. So not
I think you just really have to put your opponent
an insane, crazy amount
on this hand if you're going to make this call. It's just got to be a really good live read, situational, as well as the
Gibson
player's actions kind of, just ripping it here on this
Gibson
flop.
did take a little peek over there before doing some accounting.
He's thinking, what do I beat, and is there anything else that he could have here? He does let it go just a little too much to make that call with second pair.
Yeah.
That is a tough spot to be in for Gibson.
Nice job there from Mr. Bob doing that before he gets down to 700, 800, because that might have been a call.
Yeah, so just talking about the even bigger one that's coming up on the 24th.
Even bigger.
Guess who finished in second place in one of those suckers?
Mr. Clutier.
Mr. Clutier sure as hell did. June of last year, second place, he took home $39,950 in that one.
Well, that's a pretty good lick.
Pretty good lick for Mr. Clutier, so come on out. You might see and get to play with the legend TJ Clutier at the even bigger one. About 5 more minutes if these players can survive this gauntlet against each other before they take a quick break. RJ stepped out to go get us a couple of beverages. I'm going to take this opportunity to ask all you folks, where are you tuning in from? Are you guys all here local in the DFW area? I saw we had some folks down in the Rio Grande Valley checking in. I saw we had some of our friends that are out in Vegas watching. If you're joining us on a Saturday night, let me know where you're joining us from. Again, this is Texas Card House Dallas. You can see the Dallas skyline there on the table. We've got a sister club, Texas Card House, TCH Social, just down the road over in Las Colinas. We've got locations in Austin, one in Spring, Texas, north of Houston. Of course, we have one in Houston proper. And then we've got one in the Rio Grande Valley in Edinburgh, Texas. So 6 locations for this great company that's doing big things in the state of Texas. Poker is alive and well and booming. And even with some of our competitors, we've got some card rooms that have been opening up in other towns. And safe to say that poker is here to stay in the state of Texas. And I've made some great relationships in these last 4+ years that I've been playing at TCH and been employed by TCH the last few years. Y'all been thinking about coming out and playing at Texas Card House, please do. It is a great place to play. A lot of great relationships and great people in these rooms. And of course, these big opportunities for tournament scores like this one right here. TJ going to bet with those pocket 6s and take this down. All right, Eric R. tuning in from Godley, Texas. Spells his name the right way. Eric with a C. Clem Street tuning in from Quebec. And my man, Mr. Bill Burford, tuning in from Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and headed to Vegas tomorrow. Well, good luck in Vegas.
Saw that Brother Crawford. Yeah, they used to
Gibson
do
going to take one down with Jack 8.
Brother Crawford.
Poker Yay, there were 217 entries today in this tournament.
You guys are old enough to know it. Most of the time I'm playing here, if I say something like that, you know what I'm talking about.
Randy's pitching these next cards here. There you go. This is a $30,000 guaranteed prize pool that got up to $65,000 with all those entries there, 217. Players got 66.75 locked up. They all want that big prize there, $16,000 for first. All right, fun one here. Gibson going to raise it up on the button. TJ waking up with the tanks. He's got a couple of 10s. And now back to Gibson as he's been 3-bet to 740. Should be able to find a fold here. There you go.
We weren't racing.
Yeah, I figured that much. At the most. If you were studying, then I knew for sure we were racing. If you thought. That time.
But there was a good percentage undominated.
Like if I had a big ace.
Yeah.
A big race.
Alex, starting the main game at table 7.
Amen, Poker. Yeah. I mean, if you only fire one bullet at this tournament for 360 bucks, turning that into 16,000, I'd say that's a heck of a day.
Pretty good day.
Pretty darn good day.
Evidently, I am too old for Skittles. This bag of Skittles has bit back, man.
Taste the rainbow. All right, Gibby wakes up with the queen 6, flops a pair of queens, takes it down. I know we got to be getting close to that little break here.
Oh, yeah, 1 minute.
55 seconds.
1 minute.
Hand number 90 coming here.
1 minute remaining in this period. 1 minute.
We had one of these tournaments, what was it, 3 weeks ago now, I believe, that
Yeah.
we literally went 3 laps of the button.
This one is the opposite of
and
that.
And the tournament was over.
Yep.
That was crazy. One player literally just murdered everybody at the table, and they ended up chopping it 3 ways, letting him have the first place prize because he had over 8 million, and they had next to nothing.
He went Oprah style. I'm gonna bust you,
And
bust
you,
you,
and
and
you.
you, and you, and bust you.
How about a flush? Flushy for Gibson.
Flushes are good.
Yeah, and I believe we've gotten to that break period.
Yeah, TJ didn't have much work in there, so that pot's pretty small.
I can't remember, RJ, do we have satellites for these even bigger one tournaments? It's the $300 buy-in. I don't know if we've had satellites for that
I feel
one.
like they've worked something. They'll do the flips, I think, during the week. They've done something. I should go find out a real answer on that.
Just stick your head out there, see if Randy's out there real quick.
I feel like they have done something.
They
Randy or
have in the
Felipe.
past. Anytime we have like a Poker Atlas tour and some of those where there's like if it's like over a $500 or $600 buy-in tournament, there's almost always satellites. I'm not sure if we do ones for the even bigger one. I should know because we've been doing this for over a year now, but I'm having a senior moment and can't remember if they do it for the even bigger ones. So these players are going to color up the chips real quick, take a quick, I'm sure, restroom break, and come right back to the table. Okay, there you go. The Hijack Poker app has satellites that you can get in. Mitchell A got in for $33 by winning his seat on the Hijack app. So a reminder, if you haven't already, download the Hijack app. You can play on your laptop or your smartphone. Deposit money here at the club and just as easily take the money out of your account whenever you are ready. you're interested in any TCH swag, you can get it online here at texascardhouse.store. Bunch of cool stuff with our logo on it, and of course, hijack items as well.
I want a TCH hoodie. I've already got a couple. I remember what it was. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the week of the even bigger one.
Okay.
They have the milestone tournaments at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. I believe those are a $60 buy-in. You come in and kind of play it out for one, like a one-table sit and go, and you get those $300 in lammers to go towards your tournaments.
So, yeah, you can get $100 lammers to go towards tournament buy-ins. Okay. And I just mentioned here, too, Hijack has some opportunities for satellites. Mitchell A won his for $33. So, other opportunities there.
Yeah. I knew there was something I was missing. Excuse me.
We are back on camera for just a second.
Back on camera.
Ask us any questions. We've got just a couple of minutes before the players are going to come back to the table to battle it out for $16,000 up top in this Big One tournament that started today at 10 a.m. It was a $360 buy-in. We had 217 entries. And we are down to our final three.
Crushing guarantees, that's what we do.
Mr. Bob, Mr. Gibson, and, of course, Hall of Famer TJ Clutier are our three remaining players.
Let us know if anyone is having any success out there in the desert. If you know of anyone that's stacking chippies out there in the World Series of Poker, let us know. We'll give them a shout-out.
We got some shout-outs finally in the chat while you were out of the booth, RJ. It was a couple folks letting us know where they were watching from. And we had Bill Burford was checking in saying he's heading out tomorrow to Vegas. So there's somebody else to join our friend Aubin out there.
Yeah, and from what I understood, the Bomb Pot crew that went out there for the Bomb Pot event, actually several Dallas folks did okay.
For sure.
A lot of folks were cashing in that event. I don't think anybody just straight up binked it, but everyone was very well represented and had a good time.
Absolutely. And reminder, tomorrow is Father's Day. Father's Day, so make sure if you have the opportunity to spend some time with your pops.
That's right. Happy Father's Day.
Or maybe somebody in your life that kind of took over that role. I lost my dad when I was young. I had a lot of coaches and
you betcha.
Friends' dads and folks that kind of stepped in and helped out. Be great role models. Of course, I have a wonderful stepdad that I'm going to go see tomorrow as well. My mom got remarried, much later in my life. But make sure you're sending those messages tomorrow. Send love to the guys in your family that made an impact. I know not only us fellas, but the gals need their daddies too. You
betcha.
So, shout out to all you friends of ours though who are dads. You guys are kick-ass men, and for those that are great dads and doing good work, keep it up.
And I am anxious to go home. I mentioned that I get to go home to the Oklahoma City, Norman area to hang out with my dad for tomorrow and visit him for Father's Day. And I just learned this morning that he lost his brother. So we lost another badass Dupree. And, he's an old guy, so I'm anxious to go hang out with Dad. And he's obviously hurting a little bit for Father's Day. And shout out to my cousins and the entire Dupree crew because we lost a good one. So.
There you go. Even more reason to go spend time with your fam. Time is not guaranteed. We only get so much of it on this big old blue earth of ours, but
does not last forever.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just know whatever we do tomorrow after church will be some good food and good company. So I hope you guys get to spend it with your loved ones tomorrow, though, and tell them how much they mean to you. All right, well, we are just about back from our break. Have not heard any talk about not playing this sucker out, so it looks like these players for now are going to play down to a winner.
Mad props, by the way. Uncle Harry, my Uncle Harry that passed away this morning, you guys mentioned that everybody been running and bicycling. Uncle Harry was known for those ultra marathons. He'd go out into the desert and run 100 miles, and actually he and my cousin, his son, were a father-son duo that would go out there and do those things together. And dude, what a rock star Uncle Harry was.
That's
right?
Awesome.
Those guys, they did some crazy stuff.
There you go. Lego giving a shout out to Uncle Dupree there in the chat.
Yeah, appreciate that, Lego.
Jimmy Pierce asking a few folks, are you going out to Vegas and playing the WSOP? Yeah, definitely a lot of folks that have been in the chat here about to make a run. RJ and I's co-worker that commentates with us in some of the bigger tournaments, and of course every Tuesday on our cash stream, Aaron McAvoy is going to be going back out there and firing at some stuff here pretty soon. I know they had a big event this weekend at TCH Social in Austin, $100,000 guarantee. I wanted to try to make it down there myself to Austin to play
Aaron
in that.
was trying to recruit us.
He was trying to recruit us to go down there this weekend. They had a $100K guarantee multi-day tournament there. It was a $300 buy-in, so really great value there. So hopefully that TCH Social Austin location is having a great turnout for that. They're going to stream that tomorrow night. So the winner will be crowned tomorrow night right here on our TCH Live YouTube channel from TCH Social, and I'm sure that's going to be well over 25,000, maybe 30,000 for that sucker, depending on how many players.
That'll be a good fun final table for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lego Mitchell A, thank you in the chat. Appreciate the kind words. Looking at a pause clock here, so that means the new level is close to being underway.
They're just going to get all the players' info real quick. These are some big boy prizes, and Uncle Sam
knock some chores out here real quick.
Uncle Sam has to get his filthy paws on it when you win a little something something. So the players got to turn in their information, I guess, is what happens when you win a big old chunk like you do here.
They keep an eye on us.
And we got to do things the honest way here at TCH.
So you said earlier that people in the chat already did their roll call of where they're from?
Yep.
I feel like the live tournament community is a little more close-knit. Now, the live folks we have on Tuesday night in the cash games,
they're from all over.
They spread out all over the world.
Kiwi.
And, of course, this thing throughout the week, I'm sure, gets to every little crack corner of the world. But
does anyone know the story behind that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was a pro up there and everything. I never heard the story behind it.
Yeah, of course, one of our very favorite chat friends on Tuesday night from New Zealand.
Kiwi, yeah. So the players actually right now, and I'm glad to hear it.
And Turkey.
TJ just said that he doesn't even know why they called Jack Deuce the Choctaw Nuts. And he's like, I've been a poker pro up there forever, and I don't even know.
Right? There you go. There's a fun spot in the chat.
White Horse, Yukon,
Canada. There you go. White Horse, Yukon, Canada.
Yeah, TJ folding the aforementioned Choctaw Nuts, the Jack Deuce on that first hand back. Bob got a walk.
I grew up
with another name, the San Francisco Waiter hand. So a lot of names for these hands.
The hands I've been getting lately have names, and it's not the optimistic ones.
It's basura, trash, right?
Yeah. Way North drones. Maybe they can teach us how to fly some drones, and we'll be the Way South drones.
All right, well, we are in our second hand back here.
Action already.
Action already. The 9-8 has flopped an open-ender. Bob, though, has top pair. So we are definitely going to see some action here.
And Gibson's going to rip it open-ended in Rip City.
And how do you not make the call here if you're Bob? You got top pair.
Bob's
backdoor
doing
diamonds. Backdoor diamonds are gold as well for Bob's hand.
All right, so 6 or Jack here will connect the open-ended draw for Gibson.
Jack
Bob
no good.
trying to hang on.
Yeah, Jack's no good anymore.
Yeah, got covered up on the turn. Big hand there for Mr. Bob. Ace, queen, good, full double up.
Yeah,
1.9 million.
Our first kind of big gamble and maybe a little misstep for Gibson, but he's still...
Right, feeling the heat, baby, feeling that heat.
He's feeling that heater he was on. He thought maybe, here's my chance to knock out another player. He took a shot, and unfortunately, Bob just woke up with a monster hand there, three-handed. He improves to trips on the river and gets a full double up, and now he is our new chip leader. Gibson's going to go back down into the quote-unquote short stack, but he's still got $2 million in chips. So 20 big blinds here still for Gibson, and he's been pretty comfortable playing with 10 big blinds or less, RJ, so I think he knows what to do here with 20.
Absolutely. Those stacks didn't quite fully change spots, but Bob now in the chip lead. Gibson now in the basement, but comfortably in the basement at 1.97 million.
Keep all that warm
That's
fluid
right.
in you, huh? Bob folding the King 7 three-handed suited on the button.
He's still stacking chips. That's the only excuse for that.
That's the only excuse, Bob. Use that position.
Yeah, our friends in Yukon, Canada. I grew up in a place called Mustang, Oklahoma, and our rival high school
Is Yukon.
is Yukon, Oklahoma. That's right.
It doesn't look like the Yukon that I grew up hearing about, though. Yukon, Oklahoma doesn't quite
They
look
look
the same.
very. They look very different. Yes.
You won't see Sasquatch in Yukon, Oklahoma.
Very flat.
All right, well, all three are going to see a flop here.
Let's go.
Oh,
Jack 4-4. That's a pretty good flop for Bob.
Bob is the man on a heater now.
Queen.
TJ now with an open ender, and he is drawing deader than a doornail.
Does not want to hit it, and he's coming out swinging 500,000 here from TJ.
Yeah, big bet here. That's got to send some alarm bells up for Mr. TJ.
Queen of clubs, an interesting card there. Actually, a terrible card
Terrible
for Bob's
card for
holdings, but it'll go check.
I thought, okay, he's got maybe a pretty good.
Bob with the flop full house, turn baby full house. He'll take it down. Yeah, Jedi mentions you never know. You might see some Sasquatches out there in Yukon, Oklahoma.
Yeah, flop the full with Jack 4.
The spare tire, the flat tire, Jack 4.
What's a flat tire for? Wait, what's a Jack?
What's a Jack for? What's a flat tire for? Because I ran over a nail, man.
The blahs.
All right, Bob up to 4.69 milli. TJ coming out with a big old raise there with a Queen X hand.
Hijack poker mystery card, mind you.
Yeah, hijack mystery.
No, I'm just making sure I'm not holding the game up.
As long as it's taking me to shuffle, I think we're good.
Mitchell, hey, Bob's putting those chips to work, brother.
I think I got to get back into town Tuesday to deal some.
And get your butt back in town for our live cash stream.
Well, I get to deal on the queso table Tuesday, I believe.
Sweet.
So, yeah, the rumor has it. I'll be
All right.
playing with the slick cards.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, TJ with the
I'm not good against Jack 4.
Jack 4 this time. He says, I just needed a flop like he got.
Not
Yeah.
feeling it.
So Tuesday night, just after 6 p.m., tune in right here at TCH Live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, X, wherever you're streaming from.
Kicking, twitching, Xing,
You'll get to
Facebooking.
see RJ on the table here,
That's right.
spinning cards, and Aaron and I will be doing the first portion of that cash game live stream.
And I'm not going to get one of those hair tattoos, so you will see my bald head.
It's not all the way bald. You got some sprinkles.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, they should have raised my ass.
TJ still well astute, aware of the situation. Said, if you had an ace, you'd have raised my ass. Indeed. Bob says, indeed, my friend.
Yeah, you can learn a lot just from watching TJ play and hearing what he says. Even though it's full of fun and chuckles, it's usually right on the money.
At 86 years old, I heard him talking about some bad beats he took earlier. He still holds those memories.
Right.
Heard him talk about an ace-queen versus ace-queen hand. His was suited, the other guy's wasn't, but that guy ended up with a 4-card flush.
That guy had 2 flush draws and found one of them.
TJ still won't let that one go all these years later. Get you some spray on hair,
Yeah,
Lego
Lego
says.
So spray it on for my big show Tuesday night.
It is midnight.
Midnight. Can't believe it. And I was going to consider working tonight. Whoever I was going to help out, forget it. King 6-9, it's rainbow.
Pair for both players.
Yeah, bottom pair for TJ, middle pair for Bob.
I'm putting the bottom on this time.
Yep, TJ. Let's go a bottom pair. Knows it's in a bad spot. On to the next one.
I'm going to buy you this shirt, RJ. We're talking about your bald spot.
Sexy, and I know it?
No, it says it's not a bald spot. It's a solar panel for a sex machine.
That's right. Kind of along the same theory.
So we'll think about that when we see you dealing cards here on Tuesday night.
I might get it sponsored.
He's single, ladies. RJ Dupree. The Dupe Show. Look him up. Social media.
That's right. Oh, look, up. We're good. We're good.
And let's see if we can get these cards to start cooperating a little bit. See a couple more of those big battles. Second hand back, we got the 8-9 flopped open-ender getting after it. Top pair in Bob's holdings. It's been kind of dead since then. Aside from the Jack-4 flopped full house, of course.
Yeah, that was a pretty good flop. Unfortunately, terrible turn and river that wasn't able to take full advantage of it, but took down a pretty good pot there.
4X raise coming in. Bob folding the fives. Gibson, though, is going to come in.
Full 4X here from TJ. Ace on the button. 10-6-9. Nut gutter for Gibson.
Yeah, nut or gutter.
Bottom pair for TJ. TJ bets 500 here. Gibson will make the call, hanging around. 7 of clubs.
Now that brings in some more straight possibilities.
Check and check. 3 of spades.
Pair of sixes for TJ is going to get it done. This is what we call a card funeral. Look at the board, remember what your cards were, and let them go. Slow, slow death.
Yeah, Gibson's like, "Ee, I might have missed a bet there, doggone it."
Gibson now down to that spot he was in for so long.
Yeah, back down at 670,000, 6.7 blinds. Yeah, Mr. Bill Burford, friend of my social media. Appreciate the kind words there.
He forgot the word garbage, though. Always
hot sports takes.
RJ always has hot garbage sports takes.
It's the dupe show, not the poop show. Come on, man.
All right, TJ going to take another one down there. Gibson now super short again on the button. Hand 103, still three-handed.
Yeah, our final table tonight. Going to make it more hands than the Tuesday night cash game.
I thought I had to put it to it. I said call in.
Pair for both players.
King, Jack 3, middle pair for Bob, top pair for TJ. TJ coming out swinging. He'll let you know when he hits top pair usually.
And he's going big.
Gonna go 600,000, going for some more.
Scan your card for them.
Bob Jack in them up.
You can see him, King 4.
So I don't need to scan him. You can see him, King 4. Like the hand is over. Here they are. All right. So now our shorty Gibson's going to have to put 200,000 out there. So he's going to be left with just 4 big blinds. Unless he decides to go with whatever he's got here. TJ waking up with a pair. No doubt going to raise. Here we go. Bob has an ace-7 and folds. Wow, Gibson picks up a king in the big blind. If he could see those cards,
yeah,
right?
king 8, 2 overs there. Always
so much easier when you get to see the cards. But now,
always tough to try to figure out when you might have 2 overs. King 8, not likely, but it's easy when you get to see them for sure.
and he's going to pick up an ace, so the hand is a little improved.
TJ with 7-8 of diamonds. Took a peek there for a half a second before throwing that one in the muck.
Yeah, we're getting to that spot where it gets any higher on those blinds. Like, you're just going to have to make calls there. The big stacks are with hands just like that.
Right.
Try to knock that player out. TJ electing not to go with it there. And Gibson on the button now. And he's going to look at another ace.
This time with a deuce.
No all in, though. Just a raise.
Just a bump. 250,000 here.
See what Bob can defend with. He's got a king 9.
10, 10, 4, 2 spades.
And Gibson's all in.
Yeah, Bob doesn't want to mess with it. Nice little pot there for Gibson. Picks up a few well-needed blinds and antes.
And back at the milli mark, so he's got 10 big blinds. He's in the big blind now. He gets a double up through either of these two players. He'll be right back in business. And he's going to get a walk.
Walk it out, walk it out.
And you'll always take a walk when you got the 5-4 offsuit. Playing for $16,000. What's going on, Earl?
$350,000 from the button. King 10 for Bob.
Absolutely.
Takes it down. Yeah, playing three-handed, of course, the holdings get to have a little bit of a wider range here. Playing three-handed.
Yeah, Bob doing a good job there in position.
Yeah,
on the button there with a holding as strong as King 10, three-handed. That's
definitely worthy
close
of
to
an
premium
open.
worthy, right?
That's right.
Gibson agrees with his Jack 9 in position.
He knew we saw when he folded that suited king earlier. He said, I'm not going to let Eric pick on me this time. We're going to bump it up.
No picking on him. He's the one here at the final table, right? Here we go, though. The Jack in both players' holdings. TJ, the far superior kicker.
Jack, 10, ace, 1 club, 2 spades. So both players landing middle pair here.
He just said, let's just play for everything.
Yeah, reached
Did you
for
see that?
Yeah, reached for a call there and then
went back to the well.
Then kind of saw how much Gibson had behind and said, oh, by the way, let's just play for it all.
He's like, this is freaking Hall of Famer TJ Clutier, and he's putting me all in here, and all I have is a dadgum Jack. 9 kicking.
Yeah, middle pair, 9 kicking. Backdoor clubs would be his favorite.
The showdown at the OK Corral.
Of course, stacked pot ratio here.
Players staring each other down.
Gibson's in trouble, but he's going to make the fold, hang on to that $445,000 that he has remaining.
And he's going to be in the big blind.
And in the big blind. And that is going to cost about 200,000 smackaroos. TCH tournament fun bucks, of course.
They are fun bucks because they are worth something. The player's got a good chunk of change already locked up. Second place and first place are 5-figure scores. And he's like, give me a walk, please. Or double me up. King 5 definitely would have been worthy. Yeah, no skinny rabbit there prize-wise. 66.75 for third. So
I like that.
Everybody's got just shy of 7,000 locked up, but you got 11,000 and 16,000 for second and first.
Battling it out here. We've seen each player now in the chip lead. Each player has been at the basement.
Bob's going to wake up with an even better hand on
Ace,
this button.
Jack of clubs.
And neither player wants to tangle.
Yeah, Gibson there, 8-6 of clubs, suited connectors. Found a good time to let those go.
We're getting close to that 3-hour mark. Dealer's doing a great job tonight. Of course, Travis back in town from Seattle, and now Brandy. Yeah, I think these players...
Gibson looking at the exact same two cards. Always fun when that happens.
Players are being pretty patient, not going nutso, three-handed. Some good pay jumps. Definitely going to encourage them to be on their best behavior. But they have been playing since 10 o'clock this morning, so poker fatigue is real. Got to get those legs stretched every now and then. And
I was asleep.
I was still playing cash from the night before at 10 this morning. It was worth it, though. We had a good time.
That does not sound funsies. My days of doing that come to an end.
12-hour session? Come on now. You got one of those in you.
Yeah, if I start at like 4 p.m.
Hello. Bob just keeps improving on his button. Call him Button Bob.
That's right. He's been able to put pressure on the last 3 or 4 buttons, and it's always fun when this happens. Got to raise those buttons so you can get some marketing value when you get a hand like this.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's kept his raise the same, right?
Yeah.
Don't need to go crazy with the
and
sizing.
This time, TJ deciding to...
Ooh, look at that.
Spicy turn here. Top set for Bob on the flop. The 4 of hearts on the turn makes TJ open-ended.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, and he just throws it in the muck.
Interesting. Yeah, TJ says you waited till I got a draw and then you bet, but I'm surprised for...
Yeah, I think that was about a 1/3 bet pot there from Bob. It wasn't huge, but with only one card to go there.
No spade.
Math is right.
Yeah,
TJ lays it down.
No spade in TJ's hand. He just didn't want to waste money. And again, he's got a player to his right who is literally almost out of the tournament right now at 195,000.
Right.
So
definitely has something
folks,
to do with
TJ
it
knows
as well.
what he's doing. And that player is all in right now with an 8-6. Oh my gosh.
Gets it through. Look at a 5 high on both opponents.
When you get it all in with an 8-6 offsuit, you want both of your opponents to have a worse hand and share the hand.
I mean, he's got to be 7 for 7 on that. I don't know how many times he's been able to throw down and just the blinds have nothing.
Well, if he can come back from having 195,000 in his stack
right
to take this down, Gibson will be a TCH legend. Already had a great run here at this final table. But if he can do that, that will be a story to tell for the ages.
Suited ace from the button for TJ. Easy to pick on the blinds. And now Gibson will be super short here in the small blind. What's he going to be rolling with? 245,000.
There's no throwing in the towel, though, for Gibson.
Mm-mm.
He's still fighting.
He is fighting.
Got family in the chat watching, cheering him on.
And, yeah, he did so well for such a long time, kind of bottom feeding that first time. He's
for sure.
He's used to it. He's got his game face on.
Super impressive final table session here.
We'll rip it here. 7-4.
Oh.
No holdings behind him. He gets it through.
The 9-5 was the nuts. He had the best hand, three-handed, with 9-5 off. That is insane. They just cannot eliminate Gibby.
All right, Gibson back up to 4.5 blinds.
I don't think I mentioned earlier, most of those guys that were at this final table I've had a chance to play with, and I know you've had a chance to deal to, but just a couple times I've played with Gibson, and he really is a fun guy to be at the table with.
Gibson rips it, pocket fives.
Oh, and he runs into the aces.
Runs into a monster.
As I'm bragging on the guy for being such a nice guy.
Bob's got aces. Oh, Bob's a nice guy as well. Two friendly guys here. Pocket fives for Gibby. He's going to need a 5.
Either way, a good guy is going to win this hand.
Jack 8-3, 2 spades. King of clubs on the turn. Only a 5 will change it here. Gibson at risk. Queen of diamonds. Aces are going to hold, and that will eliminate Mr. Gibson, and that is one heck of a sweet run from Gibson. An outstanding job at tonight's final table, and he's going to take home a very impressive 3rd place prize.
That wasn't intentional foreshadowing on my part there, but Gibson.
Way to go, EVL.
Gibson is eliminated. What a run, though, man. That was impressive, Gibby. Great job, and hopefully we'll catch you in the room soon so we can talk to you and tell you how fun that was to commentate your play here on this final table.
Yeah, give you a fist bump for that kicking and scratching and making $6,675 today.
Absolutely.
Sweet run.
3rd place out of 217 entries. Great job, Gibson. And thanks and shout out to his fam for engaging and being so fun in the chat as well. I'm sure as a family man, he'll be spending that money on y'all.
Yeah, GG's from the chat towards Mr. Gibson. And we are down to heads up. Bob and JT Clutier.
TJ.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know what? We made it all night, like 3 hours and some change.
Without screwing up JT and TJ?
Yes,
yep.
And JT hasn't been here for an hour, and then I chunk it.
Yep.
Man. How rude. Well, we still have the under, though. I mean,
we do.
Yeah, we're doing good on that.
We do. There you go. Lego and Susan shouting out Gibby, saying, good job, great game.
TJ Clutier, Mr. Bob, heads up. All right, and they're about even in stacks here, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the bragging rights are still real, right? It's not like It's not like Jake Paul saying, hey, I beat Mike Tyson, okay? You know, when he's – because TJ is still as sharp as a tack. He's got the skills, the same skills that he's had that keeps making him make deep runs in tournaments and final tables. He's still a heck of a poker player. This is not just like, oh, yeah, I beat a guy when he just didn't have it anymore. No, sir. TJ still got it. So, yeah, Bob will have some bragging rights indeed.
TJ's going to open up here with suited ace-3. Bob in the big blind. Also with an ace. Jack 7-8. That's a pair for Bob. No diamonds here for TJ. We go check, check.
No spade for either player.
Bob going to lead out. TJ with a flash and a flip in the muck.
Flip and a flash, flash and a flip. Heads up play took us just over 120 hands to get to heads up play.
So yeah, and these blinds are pretty pricey here.
Got about a $5,000 difference that these two players are playing for.
And both players, they don't like to open up a ton at a high frequency, but when they open, they put a little extra cheddar in there, so it could create a crash very, very soon.
Yep. There you go. $4,900 pay jump exactly. So still plenty to play for besides the old pride.
250,000 in the pot before we even get things started. So nearly, that is $250,000.
Well, we got a heads-up match right now. We're on hand 124.
124.
What's
okay.
the over-under, folks? How many hands are we going to make it? We're at hand 125 right now.
Right, and these two are not going to chop. They will play it out.
I'm saying we're going to go all the way to 147.
147. Okay, what? And we're on 125. Bob opens it up here with Queen 8. TJ got the mumbler.
Cook County mumbler.
Cook County mumbler in effect.
I got 147, RJ.
Okay, I'll go.
What do you got?
Carry the 133.
Wow. 7 more hands.
I think it's happening. Something happened. Oh, Lego.
Lego and RJ.
He carried the 1 too.
Burford says it's going to happen right now. Pretty much. 131.
Yeah, these two could tissel and tassel here for a few hands, but blinds are pretty expensive here. Put 250,000 in there to start. You can see Bob's already taken a swing of about 1.5 million in advantage. Suited queen here for Bob. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Bob able to keep the pressure on here with some decent button holdings.
Nobody went with over what I said, though. 147 was the hand that I said we would finish this sucker off. Anybody think it's going to go longer than that?
We're all feeling anxious, ready to see.
Is that what it is?
Hand.
We've got folks that are tired. It's bedtime.
It is 12:22 in the morning here, local time.
I mean, Susan's still up. She's still partying.
Oh,
Bill's still up.
I don't
Bill's
doubt it.
still awake.
I don't doubt it one bit.
They're all
All right, we've got a limp and a check. And a whiff and a whiff.
And these two hands could not have whiffed farther, but that's not going to stop TJ from betting his hand.
Yeah, TJ said, enough of that leaking. I'm ready to get in on a button and take something down. Yeah, I thought about offering TJ my sunglasses earlier.
Do the blinds get capped or something? Do they not go up?
I'll take a look at, I don't know if I want to go take a look. Better heads up, so.
Yeah, we don't want to look since we're
basically
live with you folks. We don't want to look to see if it's actually over or not.
I can cheat. I can cheat.
You cheated?
I cheat.
RJ's cheating. He's going to go peek out there, see what the blinds are at, if they've gone up. Clock is not running.
2 undercards. Not much.
No pair for either player, but Bob's going to take it down with a little aggression.
6 high.
Lego, you misspelled cataracts. Have the blinds gone up, RJ?
They will go up.
Okay.
The blinds will go up. The next level is going to be 60,000, 120,000. But the clock is definitely stuck.
126. Yeah, 2006. So mine's 2006. $60. Come on, first.
Yeah, it looks like she is noticing that the clock is stuck here for a second. There we go, and it's rolling now. It's been rolling for 3 minutes. So I don't know what the heck we were looking at. All right, Bob with the best of it here. Jack 8. Looking good. TJ open-ended here on the turn, so Bob leads out with that Jack 8, and TJ bumps it up.
Wow.
You can see TJ knows how to stick and move, take those spots.
60, 120, 120.
He'll pick some spots every now and then to pick up some chippies, and definitely keeping him afloat. Now sitting at 3.8 million, Bob with 4.8.
Well, he's got another at least $11,000 locked up already, and that is going to add to his already 10.5 million in earnings that he's got in his poker tournament live earnings. He's 69th on the all-time USA money list for confirmed cashes in poker tournaments.
Sure.
Third all-time as a Texas poker player.
There we go.
So how about that? Our very own TJ Clutier, who resides right here in Richardson, Texas. Born in California, but we won't hold that against him.
All-time money list, third in the state of Texas. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, born in 1939, and he's been playing 14 hours of poker today, and still, like I said, sharp as a tack.
And I believe one of the main event champions just a couple years ago was a Houston guy. So that might be one or two.
Wow,
Jack,
what a flop.
5, 6.
He's going to check and induce TJ to bluff at this.
Yeah, we'll see how Bob wants to play it. Go with the check raise or stream along. He does go with the little stringy call here. 3 of spades.
All right, 4 live outs for TJ. He's going to check back wisely, though. And there
4
it is.
diamonds. Holy cow. Running from nowhere. So it looks like Bob bet here, and then
TJ min clicked, right?
Yeah, TJ raised it, but Bob showed his hand thinking it was a call. Just kind of not noticing that.
Yeah, Bob didn't realize that was a raise. He finds out now that it's a raise and finds out the bad news.
Bad news
TJ
indeed.
hit the 4-outer, number 4 specifically, to give him a straight.
Yeah, has to go runner there.
Wow.
Finds a 3 on the turn and a 4 for the 4-outer on the river.
And hello, new chip leader.
Straight good.
TJ Clutier. What a big flop for Bob there.
Yeah, I think I would have tried it too. I would have tried just a call there to try to string him along, and just cards got to behave.
Hand 133. Bob's going to stay composed, though. Just a small hit to his big stack. Still anybody's battle. Just in time, Shelby Carl saying, "Go, Bob." And Mitch reminding us that he and Emily are rooting on Mr. Bob. So a lot of Bob fans, of course, a lot of TJ fans, too. And the crazy thing about Hendon Mob is it also says your popularity ranking. And of all the gazillion poker players out there in the world, they got TJ ranked as the 151st most popular.
There you go.
Can we get him a little higher?
That's right. How do we
The guy's born in 1939, and he's still playing 14-hour tournament sessions. Let's get that popularity rating on up there, folks. I don't know how we do it.
I know. We're going to have to get him a Instagram and Twitter and Twitch, I guess.
You think he wants anything to do with Instagram?
Absolutely not.
I don't got a book face or a Grammy-gram or Twitcher. All right, there you go. Lego reminding us the guy's name, Jonathan Tamayo.
Yeah, I knew somebody had come through and helped me out on that one.
Tamayo.
Lots of money-o.
Seriously. Ooh, it could have some fireworks here. Diamond on diamond crime. Jedi Master Ted may have nailed it if it does end on this hand. And 135.
Neither player landing a pair here. Neither player taking advantage of this pot. Now we have 2 pair on the board. 8 kicking.
Could the jack high be good here? It is, but
It is,
TJ
yeah.
can't make the call. Bob.
Now Bob will take it down.
Little gangster move for
That's right.
Mr. Bob there. Betting with the 10 high there.
Yeah, needed it. Well done.
To Mustardo. That's when you know it's getting late, when our jokes are getting that cheesy.
Yeah. Mustardo.
240 y'all watching. Past midnight on a Saturday night, now Sunday morning, Father's Day morning. Set those alarms. Call Pops. Wish him happy Father's Day.
Tiffany, transfer 10.
Did the other tournament finish already?
Man, I don't know. It's a good question.
The afternoon 15K guarantee tournament.
They might have beat us. They are done.
They're done?
Yep, completing the final payout right now, it looks like.
All right. Well, congrats to whoever that winner is.
That's right. Well done.
What was the prize on that one? 6,000 something?
Yeah, 6,500, I believe, out of a $175 buy-in.
Very nice.
Pretty juicy.
Yeah, the buy-in for that is $175, $15,000 guarantee, and that kicks off at, I think, 4 p.m. Every day.
With some,
every Saturday.
That's right, 4 p.m. every Saturday with some lengthy registration time, so you can get in that one at least a little after 6 o'clock. Probably all the way up 7 or so.
There you go. See, we got folks in the chat doing our job for us, saying hit the like button. We appreciate it. Lego giving us a double thumbs up.
Mitch Lloyd.
Mitchapalooza.
He's in the top 10 for popularity pool in Dallas poker.
Yeah, Mitch definitely win a popularity contest around here. TJ shows the old stank deuce, the Choctaw nuts. The Lego Center is right next to IKEA.
Well.
Have you ever been in an IKEA, RJ?
I don't think I have.
Go check it out.
I'd remember it, huh?
They have snacks and like drinks and stuff they give out while you're shopping.
Oh, okay.
It's just cheap furniture, but you can just buy all kinds of cool stuff in there.
I might get hungry and swing by there sometime.
By the way, a lot of single ladies, RJ.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Go check it out, buddy.
Man, the Kroger by the house is usually a good stop.
And you know what? A strapping young lad like you, just offer to help put together the furniture for those single ladies, RJ.
I like
it could get you sprayed with mace, but
I like this road. You're thinking.
Give it a try. Mitchell A is doing a little anti-sweat. Got his kings cracked by the Jackson Bob earlier. Speaking of kings, TJ's like, I waited all dadgum final table to get a couple of kings.
Yeah, Bob's been a beneficiary of aces twice. Actually knocked out Gibson with some aces and flopped a set with him against TJ.
No aces this time no kings this time, does have an ace. And just going to take another one down, so little heater in our 5 seat. We're on hand 142. I said 147.
Yeah.
Getting close.
You were trying to get us to the 3 a.m. hour and the over, and you're looking good.
Looks like they did some sort of an ICM chop for that 175 deeper stack tournament today.
Okay. Yeah, taking a peek at the
first and second got 45-25 in that tournament today.
Okay.
Third place took home 42-30. So a 3-way chop ICM variety there for that deeper stack tournament. So 3 people of the 175 went home with over 4,200 bucks. Pretty cool deal for a little Saturday or Saturday afternoon, late afternoon tourney.
Yeah. Definitely worthy to jump into that one for a cool prize.
Yeah, and Bob was letting me know that
nice
he plays in that one a lot. He actually plays in the 175 instead. You know, doesn't get up here that early, and so he likes to play in the afternoon.
I was going to say, he actually got up early enough.
And he's like, you know, and I like he's like, honestly, I like the 175 buy-in. You know, it's easy peasy. Well, he's going to turn 360 today into at least 11,000.
Well, he gets playing whatever he wants to play in this week.
He's got a few extra buy-ins.
$10-9 there on the button takes that one down. New over-under from Lego set at 156. Hand 156 from Mr. Lego. That's 10 hands away. We don't get to see the hands on that one, but whatever. It's all right. TJ takes it down, whatever it was.
C2 folded like a sleep seat, a cheap suit.
Get it out.
I was trying.
C2 didn't have a hand, that's why. That's why.
Mitch, you're always the best left-handed dealer at the table.
That's right.
Like, hey, maybe it's a sign.
Better flash for me too.
250.
C2 raises to 250.
250.
I'm top 10 player at the 9-handed tables I play at. So yeah, I feel that, Mitch.
All right, 6-9, ace-3. And queen, deuce, 10.
9's open-ended.
Doesn't want to hit a king, but does get Bob to fold by betting.
Boy, those cards look extra slick tonight, making me nervous for my Tuesday performance.
Hand 148, so we went over my 147. See, Bob's at 3.87 milli. And TJ's at 4.8.
So yeah, we've seen both players kind of climb up to that 5 million mark. Either player can kind of climb that next hump. Definitely be advantageous.
And Bob did return his cards, I believe, but he is looking at another 10-8 of diamonds. King high for TJ, just doesn't like that 6 kicker and lets it go. Good question, RJ. Do you know, tournament's probably a little different. How often do they change out the deck?
Yeah, the tournaments are a little different. They did change it out at the dealer change, so we've had both decks in play tonight. So that first dealer went, gosh, probably 2 hours.
And then,
and
of course,
then there
these
was
are
a switch.
Different cards, right? They're the RFID cards. They've got little chips in them. Oh, Hannah, awesome. That is Bob's daughter.
Oh, you wanted the card.
Saying, Happy Father's Day to Dad, Mr. Bob Caro. She's so proud of him. That's awesome.
Happy Father's Day, Bob.
As you should be. And remind me, Hannah, since we have you in the chat, I was going to say it, and I knew I was going to screw it up. So remind me, Bob has a business, and I know he's done some plastics work for us. He's done, I think, some of our buttons and done some work for us in the club. And I can't remember for the life of me
Shelby Carl also in the chat.
Exactly what the business is, but I know he works with plastics and does some cool logos and engravings and things. So I know I'm screwing that up, girls. So let me know, Shelby. Also in the chat, his other daughter says proud of Pops as well.
Well, I know personally I enjoy visiting with Bob. He and I have become pals over there at the Las Colinas room, and
he's so cool, and he's never not excited to see you. That's what I like about Bob.
As a matter of fact, I thought it would be cool to get out of this stream in time to say hi to Bob, but I don't know if we will with the 15-minute delay. So if we miss him, Hannah and Shelby, tell him we are proud of him as well.
All right, Aeon Crystal.
There
you go. I'm going to the website right now.
Bob with a premium on a button with Ace Queen.
Laser Designs.
Yeah, a lot of
they
that,
do our trophies.
A lot of that stuff's getting big too.
They do a lot of our trophies.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it is. They do those really kick-ass
Those are
trophies.
Some sweet trophies. You get one for the even bigger one.
Yeah.
Every even bigger one every month has a sweet trophy.
Yeah, go to the website. Shout out to aeoncrystal.com. See, he's getting a plug for his business,
That's right,
too.
he is.
He's making money all over the place.
You bet it.
Go, Bob. Thank you for that, ladies. Yeah, I mean, it really is too cool. He's got his two daughters rooting him on for Father's Day. He's going home a winner regardless, but got 11,000 locked up. Just took down another pot. Getting a little closer.
Taking on a big wig and Mr. TJ Clutier. And both these players having a good time, right? Having a good time, enjoying the competition here.
4.1 million to start the hand.
We're going to get
TJ
some
got
action
4.2.
here. And we're not seeing the cards. So Bob raised it up here on the button. TJ's 3-bet.
Yeah, tell him Eric bragged on him and RJ. Eric and RJ were bragging on him.
Now, he warned me before the final table tonight that he would be watching it later. But he is very easy to speak highly of, so he has nothing to worry about.
All right, here we're going to get those cards scanned. Ooh, Ace King versus Jack 10 here.
Okay, Bob opened on the button with Jack 10, TJ 3.
Oh, my gosh.
Holy moly macaroni.
Oh, my gosh.
We've got top for TJ. Bob has flopped a straight.
Goodness gracious. I hoped we would get an action flop, and we did.
Pretty much some action.
Bob flopping the absolute joint here. Flops the nuts.
8 of hearts on the turn. No help. That's going
to lock it up.
Big double up here for Bob.
And they had just gotten to where they were almost even in chips, so that is going to cripple TJ. Poor choice of words there, Eric. Bob's going to get 8.45 million, and it's going to leave TJ with 240,000. So, wow, he is going to be left with just a couple of big blinds after that hand. What a hand there for Bob. Goodness gracious, what a hand. Did somebody say hand one number 156?
That was Lego's new over-under, yes. So, yeah, Lego said 156.
God, Lego's good, isn't he?
How much? 226?
Yeah, Lego, I knew you'd kill me on that one. Oh, my goodness. You know what I meant, though. He's down to just 240,000 chips, okay?
Let's see how.
Chip in a chair for TJ Clutier?
Eric's math is pretty accurate. TJ down to 240,000, it says. Just some crumbs here. Less than 2.5 blinds for TJ. Bob in a commanding lead.
That was a crazy hand there.
So, yeah, chip in a chair here for 6-time world champ TJ Clutier. 240,000. And let's see. He's on the small blind here, so that gives him just a hint of relief. a skosh.
Skosh. Is he going to go with the 7-6?
He'll raise it up with 7-6, takes down the blind and ante. So he'll go from 2.5 to 4.5, just like that.
Now, okay, so the chip stacks were not quite accurate there. Okay.
He
does have a million, 1.5 million. So he wasn't left at just 240K.
Okay, so that's
Yeah, the red chips are 100,000 chips, so
a little more than crumbs for sure.
the chip stacks got corrected while we were
And I thought the total chips in play was
a little more.
more than what we were saying. So yeah, this makes more sense.
All right, well, he's definitely got a lot more playability than we thought. He's got more than 10 big blinds.
And as we know, he's a tough cookie to crack here.
Way more than 240K.
Yeah, Lego seeing all those red chips as well.
Yeah, the graphics just had it wrong for a split second, and by the time we got done gabbing, they got it corrected. So here it is. Bob's got 8.2 million. TJ's got 1.4. So about a 7.5 to 1 chip lead here. He is in good shape, but TJ is definitely not a man to be counted out.
Especially getting ace-10 on the button.
And he's jam and a call.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Classic race.
Now TJ Clutier at risk. Bob
got the crabs.
With a slight advantage here.
Pocket threes.
We're going to race it out. Ace-10 versus threes. Jack 6-4. 6 of spades on the turn.
More outs now for TJ.
Ace-10.
Oh, it's a counterfeit.
Jack or a 4, and the 4 lands. 2 pair on the board. Ace high good. Counterfeits the threes for Mr. Bob. And TJ gets a full double up.
Don't count the man out. The pocket threes go up in flames as they get counterfeited by a better 2 pair on the board. 6s and 4s. Ace kicker plays, and TJ with a full double up, and he's now got 3 million in chips.
Hello, double up for TJ. 6.6 million to 3 million now, and those numbers there are accurate. It's about 9.5 in play.
Well, we've got a battle. Somebody in the background saying we got 2 legends.
That's
Duking
right.
it out, and I think Bob's going, I just got called a legend? All right.
Indeed.
His daughters think he's a legend. Somebody else in the room does as well. Man, what a fun one. I think that sounded like Travis, our first dealer, who was talking in the background.
Could have been, yeah.
All right, Bob, right back on the saddle. Gonna raise it up with a 10-8, steal some blinds.
Yeah, Bob's been able to navigate that button decently.
Pocket ace, and he had ace 9, and the board paired with 10s and jacks.
2 overcard, yeah. 2 overcard.
The Bart trademark still alive. Sounded like they called me for a 1-2 no limit seat, RJ. I may have to leave the booth and go sit down and try to spin up a stack, buddy.
EVL.
No, heck no. I'm not going anywhere missing this opportunity.
Hand 161 of tonight's final table. And count getting up there. Blind 60,000, 120,000. We're still here with you. Texas Card House, Dallas. I'm RJ Dupree with my buddy, my pal, Eric Van Loosen.
My partner. Over $27,000 in play between these 2 players, 16,000 up top.
Mr. Bill says we're going to hand 1,499, and Lego's saying his phone's about to die. So we are definitely getting up there in hand count. 163 now. $300,000 here from Bob. 10-9.
TJ Clutier is on the table, not Doyle Brunson.
That's
so
right.
We won't be playing the 10 deuce.
TJ said that's not my hand.
That's not. I didn't become famous with that dadgum hand.
Yeah, that's my old buddy's hand. That's not mine.
That's my old poker pal's hand. I ain't playing that mess. So now we wait till our next big collision.
Yep, waiting for the collision. Blinds are about to go up here, by the way. Another level kicking in here in just about 30 seconds.
You know, and seeing those 2 hands, the Jack-10 suited and the Ace-King, before the flop even came out, in my head, before I could even get it out, I was just thinking, wow, 2 great hands that we could potentially see some sort of really big action flop.
Your Tony Romo Stradamus has been on lately.
It has.
Yeah.
It was really on last week, and it was on tonight. Tony Romo Stradamus. It's like he knows what's coming. Oh, that was in the cash stream, right? That was the final bomb pot of the night that we predicted Danny Chin's hand.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Romo Stradamus was running hot on that one. It was crazy.
The battle between Danny and Matt in the final bomb pot, the last hand of the night. Which
that was a wild one, by the way.
Woo!
If you go look at Tuesday night stream, the last hand of the night in that bomb pot was wild.
About 2 seconds away from being a 20K win for one player that ended up a chop. I mean, goodness gracious.
Does TJ have a signature hand? I bet TJ's one of those guys that just says, you know what my favorite hand is? Aces and the winning hand.
The winning hand is my favorite hand.
Yeah.
Something tells me it's not Queen 3, Lego. But I could be wrong.
All right. Button raise here from Bob with Queen 3. Speaking of Romo Nostradamus.
And here's the spot. TJ earlier just folded to an open, the King 6. This time, he's going to push back a little bit.
Yeah.
King 4.
Little repressure on that pressure. Yeah, I love the way TJ doesn't do it all the time. He's not one of those robot guys, right? I mean, he picks and chooses his spots to do that and knows that he doesn't have to do it all the time.
Trust the gut.
But also knows that it's important to do it from time to time.
And here he is with King 9, just calling.
Ace, 10-4. King on the turn. TJ lands a bunch of it here on the turn, bets out, takes down.
Shows the King burger and takes it down.
Yeah,
Lego, he may not like the Olay
I may not
anymore.
even get to eat dinner at this hour.
I'm glad I took down one of those Egg Daddy. What was that?
Breakfast parfait?
Breakfast parfait that I had earlier.
I'll roll with that.
Shout out to Egg Daddy, who provides food here at TCH Dallas. And I think the other company, Social House, has had some good food they've been providing us lately.
That's right. Keeping the folks fed up in here. Thank you, Egg Daddy.
Bob still has 6 million. TJ, though, creeping closer to 4 million. Yeah, we're at a 15 hours worth of poker for these two gentlemen. And just like us, neither one of them's a spring chicken.
Yeah.
3.5 hours just here on the final table.
Yeah, right. We talk about how your brain starts acting weird on the even bigger one, right?
Mm-hmm.
After a couple of days of poker and then a long day 2, and then you finally get to day 3. Man, yeah, these guys been getting after it.
Bob wakes up with an ace here, heads up. Strong enough for an open. TJ's got a little suited one gapper.
Brain fatigue is real at this point. Still going strong between Bob and TJ here. Open-ended now for TJ. Deuce missed by Pip. Ace high, good.
Can we keep dealing until somebody hits something?
Picked up a straight, John.
Bob is going to take it down. So Susan letting us know that she thinks TJ's favorite hand may be like Jack 9 of clubs. She says she could be remembering wrong, but something's telling her that might be the hand.
Friend in the chat, Wade North Drones. He says he's out. Can't make it any longer. Got to go to sleep. Have a good night, buddy.
Well,
I feel like we're close, but I don't blame you.
Hit pause and shut down the phone or the TV and crank it back up in the morning, and you'll find out who won. But thank you for shouting us out, Mr. Way North Drones. 173 hand
173. Number. We had a record a couple of weeks ago on the shortest final table we've had.
Wow, Bob folding an ace there. Heads
Here
up.
on the big one. Now we're having a long one.
Blinds are up to 75, 150, 150. So that number, when you see the raise coming in, is going to look like it's more than it really is, but you've just got less big blinds now.
Yeah, and that puts 375,000 in blinds and antes in the pot before we get things started. So that's a bunch.
Bob waking up with a pair here. Got the lucky sevens.
Pocket sevens on the button. Taking it down.
Call.
All right, TJ trying to sneak in a limp there. Bob having none of it. He'll raise it up. Takes it down.
I just heard an Asian J, your 1-2 PLO seat is available. Man, I may need to go jump on the tables if Asian J's out there. That's our man. That's our AGM.
He'll keep that game moving.
Our boss, Mr. J. He's fun to play with. Bob's just going to give TJ a walk, and TJ's like, man. Just like when he woke up with those 2 kings earlier, he's waking up with 10s, and Bob's giving him a walk. How did Bob know?
I knew the 75 was right. I was like, wait a minute, what did I do?
It says, any news on TCH introducing sports betting, 00 Jones? I highly doubt it.
Well, that'd be cool, but it's not very legal.
We are in the great state of Texas, but there are some things that every now and then we think are not so great.
Yeah, it might be a hot minute before Texas introduces sports betting. But the way sports betting's fired up around the country, heck, you never know.
Look at this, guys. We got
Let's
an
go.
all-in and a call.
Right. So,
frustration, tiredness setting in here.
TJ raised it up. Bob shipped. TJ called.
Here we go.
TJ at risk
Oh,
here.
wow.
The 10 lands here for Bob. King 10 landing for Bob. TJ now at risk officially. He's going to need to land something. Ace, Jack, or 9.
No.
4 of hearts, no help for TJ. And that is a winner for Mr. Bob.
We got the all-in moment out of nowhere.
All-in moment on hand 177, and that is a winner for Bob. TJ Clutier, a mighty fine run tonight, and he will find himself in second place.
Yeah, what a hand. Hall of Famer TJ Clutier makes another final table here. He is going to finish in second place. another $11,000 to add to his $10.5 million plus in career tournament poker earnings. Great job, Mr. Clutier. Always a pleasure. We're starstruck every time we see you in the room, even though you're a regular now. Just fun to see you, playing poker. We've learned from you so much. So great to see you again, TJ. $11,115.
Yeah, always awesome to have TJ on the stream, and good to see his successes. Another second-place finish for him at $11,000. But look at that. Mr. Bob, he's going to take a picture and enjoy his big win tonight.
Bob Caro has a new favorite hand. It is the King 10 of diamonds.
There you go.
There you see his winning coin that he gets for winning a tournament at TCH. It'll say 2025 TCH tournament champion on it. RJ's got one of those boogers. I got one of those boogers. And Bob's got one of them boogers now, but he's also got $16,000 going home.
I don't have that.
On Father's Day with his daughters watching on the stream. How cool is that? What a moment.
There you go.
What a moment for Bob. And we gave a shout out to his company earlier as well, Aeon Crystal. Check him out.
Papa Bob taking it home.
Well, we can't see him because he's kind of off camera, but we'll get that probably posted on TCH's socials. That's Bob holding his new coin and his new favorite hand, King 10 of diamonds. How cool is that, though? Great job, Bob. Taking down six-time bracelet winner TJ Clutier to win the big one here at TCH Dallas.
Awesome final table tonight. Both players here, heads up, having a great time, battling it out. And I know Mr. Bob, our champion tonight, is having an absolute ball, taking pictures, thinking about that money. And congratulations indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys again for joining us, and gals. Still 244 of y'all logged in. Reminder, Tuesday the 24th, we will kick off the even bigger one, multi-day tournament. You can play flights at 10 in the morning and I think 5 p.m. There's a double bag bonus, a triple bag bonus, some satellite opportunities as well on the Hijack Poker app. But that'll be your chance again to win over $50,000 off just a $300 buy-in, RJ.
And we'll be back Tuesday night for the cash game stream. And
absolutely.
Until then, happy stacking TCH Live, and good night.
We will see y'all. Good night. Peace. Happy Father's Day, fellas.
I would have never lived that down if I missed